Dota 2, just me and you. Welcome to Good Morning Purge. When you want to know all about the game, tournaments and MDL League, how heroes can protect or destroy, the ancients come toppling down. So grab yourself a bite to eat, sit down, enjoy the show. Join us on Good Morning Purge. We're talking Dota 2, just me and you. Welcome to Good Morning Purge. We're watching Dota 2, just me and you. Welcome to Good Morning Purge. We're watching Dota 2, just me.
That's a lot of money. That is what is left to be given away, earned, if you will, here for the MDL Chengdu Major. We've got 3 teams, and of course the one that wins it all doesn't get it all, but wins the majority of that, and that team, VG Gaming rather, is waiting in the finals to face their opponent. Was going a very nice route with that, and I messed it all up. But let's talk first about something else. We have here Tsunami, we have here Fogged. We also have some candy houses. I am gonna miss Good Morning Purge, first of all. And I figured, you know what they did not do at the end of the Good Morning Purge show? You guys didn't rate the houses.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
They had Twitch rated, actually.
They did?
Yeah, 1 was Purge's and 2 was mine. Well, who just won? They didn't do rating, I guess, but who won over each other?
Well, I think we should do the voting.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, well, you can't vote. You were literally one of the makers.
It's you and me then.
Yeah. Well, and me.
Yeah. No, that's you and me.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah.
Me and you.
So let's take a look. I have my favorite, by the way. I know exactly which one I like more. You want to know why?
Why?
So you see, Purge's one.
Yeah.
Real nice in the front, but he didn't do anything on the back.
That's what I was trying to do the whole thing.
It's nothing. It's
Let's turn it around.
It's the same house that was in the.
Oh
wow!
No, the teams are coming out.
Let's
Just
forget
kidding.
about
let's
the
rate
cat
these
game
teams.
house. TNC. They're one of the teams taking the stage right now. They are already in the top 3. Did you know that TNC, since they formed, or rather since they got KP and Martin after TI9, they have not lost a single series in Dota 2 apart from the one that they lost yesterday against VG Gaming?
I feel like that's an important qualification to make.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I casted when they lost yesterday. What are you talking about, Sheever?
No, but they only lost 1 series, and they played in a lot of things. They played in Hamburg. They played in the qualifiers with WSG. They played in the qualifiers. So what are we liking here for TNC? Because TNC coming in from the upper bracket, they do.
Can I expose Purge real quick?
Please expose it a little bit. I at least put effort on both sides. Like, look at that.
Oh no!
Excuse me?
And now turn mine around and look at when I spin mine. Sorry, we're going. Okay, well I missed the door on that side, but I got everything else.
Yeah. No, you have the door on like the small sides. So you have 2 doors.
Wait, why do you have 2 doors?
Well, you gotta it's a Purge. Fog is thinking about fire escapes.
Backyard.
Backyard.
It's OSHA certified. Meanwhile, Purge here, everyone's gonna die in this house. The front door's already like blockaded.
It's the cobblestone path. I see what he was going for.
Yeah, but you can't even open the door over the cobblestones. Look how tall they are.
I would have liked to see some more color on your roof, Fogged.
I have a ton of color.
Yeah, so it shows up better on this camera.
It's like all pastel colors.
Yeah,
but that's the only ones. That's the only ones I could reach. I should have grabbed some peppermints. You're right, but yeah, I was mistaken.
All right.
I did my.
So
I wouldn't say that's my best, but I did what I could with the time I was given.
That's okay.
What's this
We'll forgive
angle?
you.
Give me the wide again, so I can make sure that I don't expose Purge. All right, so let me get the aesthetics right. That's good.
All right. I think that is good enough.
Beautiful.
Now I'm curious. We saw the intro for TNC. Does it mean that we missed the intro for
Yeah,
IG?
because whenever they were showing the final crowd shot, it already had like an IG side and a TNC side. So
because normally like we're behind, or we are ahead, and they're behind on us. This time it's the other way around.
So draft started.
No.
What you're telling me is they need to have Good Morning Purge on stage.
Okay, that means we are gonna go through the recap real fast. Recap of yesterday. We started off with IGJ Storm. IG crushed it. They did real well. We can take a quick look at the brackets, I believe, as well, just to catch you up and see what happened. We had 3 series in total. We had a lot of one-sided games.
Yeah, we did.
Again.
Yeah, even though many of the series went 2-1, still went a lot of one-sided games in each of those 2-1 series, namely the EG one versus IG. That was a pretty subpar performance from the Evil Geniuses players and IG. I mean, I'm not going to discount anything that IG has achieved thus far. They've had a hell of a journey, making it all the way through the minor, and now busting their way through the major, possibly taking the crown away from VG Gaming as the only team thus far to become minor and subsequent major winners.
Yeah, and this I think I know Vilat tweeted it earlier or something, but one of the first majors where there's no Western team in the top 3, I believe, right?
Oh.
So that's pretty cool little fact there.
Interesting.
Also interesting to note is that everybody that was in a major top 4 last year qualified for TI.
Yeah, that's definitely really important to note out here.
Yeah, and with the top 3 even more so because last year the total that teams needed to get in terms of points, what the barriers was 1,140 points. Getting 3rd place already gives you 2,100, so you don't even need to place good anywhere else. Already 3rd place is just that will give you a TI invite. Or we know that the points got a little bit changed in terms of distribution.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly. Like, it's not a guarantee, but it is highly likely.
That's a really good. I mean, guys, December next week, we're going to TI. Like,
what a Christmas gift
right?
that would be.
That's a pretty nice blessing for sure.
Yeah.
No, these teams have looked, really strong throughout this whole tournament. IG just had a little bit of ups and downs and stuff, but that's the IG that we love and that we kind of expected with Emo, the way that Emo and JT play.
I mean, the thing that I enjoyed the most out of their EG series that I had not really seen as much earlier was the fact that they were picking like Monkey King. Like, who's picking Monkey King and stuff like that? And in game 1, they picked Zeus for Emo. So it's just they're going more improvisation now, it seems, based off of just what looks good in the game, as opposed to coming in with like a raw strategy that we need to get these 2-3 heroes. Which is kind of what TNC has been doing. They've been kind of being like, I want my Venomancer, I want my Naga Siren, I want my Chen.
That's true. I think IG is definitely more of like a unknown kind of aspect of what they can play, because I assume everybody plays a ton of pubs, but like being able to just open up your draft and just pick a Zeus or something like that works really well just in that specific game is going to be really good. And yeah, TNC, I don't think they've really, what was the most like unorthodox thing? I don't think I've really seen too much outside the
Naga
box.
off lane?
Yeah.
That was probably the only one. Yeah, that's a good point.
But they unleashed that stuff like very early on in the tournament, and most of it has been shown at this point. Although KP said that they have many strategies, didn't show any of them in their VG Gaming series, so now's the time.
Their VG Gaming series was an odd one because their first game, they felt like, all right, let's try Morph Shaker. Yeah. Probably for the last time, but let's try that once more. And then they still picked Shaker first. The game after that, maybe to trick VG. I don't know. It felt like they were more, let's see if this works, rather than let's have something prepared for VG Gaming that they really wanted to go for.
That was a really fun game to watch.
The second game
was super fun. The first one was fun to watch. It was fun watching KP. Not really anybody else. KP's just running at the enemy fountain, having 11 deaths, and I think he tweeted it like that day. Space, which was pretty good. But that second game was actually insane to watch, and you got to see the potential of late game Dota, of how awesome it can be.
Now, every time we talk a lot about IG because IG has been making it through the lower bracket. Then they came from the minor. They did good in the groups, and then through the low bracket. So we saw them a lot. Yeah. And that's, we kind of also harped a lot on their faults and their flaws.
Sure.
And for IG, we've been saying Fly is not, or was not, the tier 1 player that we want him to be. We've been saying Emo has been volatile. JT is the playmaker. All that. I kind of felt like we've also seen them grow, and all those things that we've said about them, like Fly yesterday, deserve an MVP of the series as well. He crushed it. Like, every naysayer, will be a yay-sayer after that performance, and it was in front of the crowds, and it makes me think maybe that has a big impact on this team.
And it was on Monkey King.
Yes, it was on Monkey King.
That's like a pretty dead hero overall for most teams. They're too afraid to pick it because it's just really risky. He made it work excellently. Yeah. Sometimes I know the other day we had talked a lot about the team and everything, and it's sometimes just because he changed his name, he's Fly. This is GGG. This guy was, he was a very he had his highs and he had his lows, but he's a really high skill player that does some super flashy plays. So, yeah.
How many times do we need to see IG perform top tier for us to say that they're no longer a team of high highs but low lows?
Once they stop winning off of their enemy team's mistakes. Because so far it seems like a lot of their series, like their Beast Coast series, their Evil Geniuses series, while they are winning, it's more seeming like they're taking advantage of enemy mistakes, which is great. That's the way the game is played. But I want to see them confidently come in. It's a neck and neck game, and their late game decision making ends up proving superior, not because of mistakes, just because of their better vision or better initiation, something like that.
I was going to take it the opposite, actually, and say when they stop losing to themselves.
Yeah.
When they're looks like, wow, they have this amazing game. It's like, blah, 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 everything's going excellent. And, oh, my God, Emo's at the tier 3. What the heck's going, I think when they stop doing those super extreme plays, like super risky plays, that's when I will. I mean, I'm already a big fan of this team and Emo, so it's like kind of whatever. But
this is, you guys mentioned this is the first time there's no EU team, NA team in the top 3 of a major. We're gonna look at the draft as well. But while those first couple of bans are going on, I know that there's NA fans and EU fans tuning in, and they're like, well, this is great, and I really like Dota 2, and I really want to cheer for a team. But which team should they cheer for these two? So. Fogged, who do you want people to cheer for?
Well, they're spamming when does EG play, I'm sure, the whole time, actually.
Sure.
Guys, I'm looking at the schedule. I don't see EG.
I don't see EG, guys.
So you're going to make people cheer for IG, one letter difference. Tsunami, you got the TNC cheer crowd.
March.
March is NA, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
March has always been one of our NA brethren. Forever, he's always played with us. Even back, 15 years ago when we used to play Dota 1, it would be Febby, March playing in the NA with all of us, so... Yeah, I guess TNC.
Okay, you would cheer for TNC. Why should people cheer for IG though, Tsunami?
Why should people cheer for IG if you're a Western Dota fan?
Or no, just any Dota fan. It doesn't
Any Dota fan.
Like what would you say to someone if you want to sell someone on cheering for IG?
It's the underdog story. It's like you said, they've been making a hell of a lower bracket run. They came from the minor. They didn't even deserve to be with the other 3 Chinese teams, eHome, Aster, and Vici Gaming. They had to go through, beat everyone in the minor, 3-0 in the grand finals of the minor, make it through now here in the major. What a compelling tale that would be.
That is.
Would that make them underdogs, though? They came from winning minor, right?
Yeah, so you're like the best of the trash at that point.
Jesus.
And now you need to really step it up.
All right.
With all the good teams.
They didn't even make it out of the groups for their major qualifications. That's pretty crazy.
That's right.
That's true. So we're looking at these bans. I think there's some that may look a little weird, but make perfect sense. That Lena first 3 ban. I think Kaka's just played it pretty much, 80% of the games or something like that. He did really well on it, too. Definitely, and also they probably have some bad memories versus Lena. PYW, double axe, Laguna blading.
The like, I'm never building a 4-staff again.
We saw what he was going for. He tried to 4-staff it out. Yeah, it was, it happens. As the first pick glitch. Okay.
So who's left in? We got Void still in the pool. I think Void has become my favorite carry in the tournament. Drow Ranger still available. Gyrocopter still available. I don't think TNC is going to go for their Alchemist. I don't think they're going to go for their Morph Shaker because that is what their folly in their Vici Gaming series. No!
Oh, no!
Void, right? They just picked Void here.
Yeah, you picked Void. You're good. You're golden.
Why would you do it? Tims, what are you nodding for?
The thing is, though, that Tim's had a really rough day yesterday. I feel like that was one of his worst days that I've seen him actually play for a very long time. So maybe they're just like, you know what? We played around it wrong, but they're bringing it back. I don't know. Into the Void as well, and they know that the Void's going to get picked immediately.
So is there any possibility that they turn it into like a KP Shaker or maybe a March Shaker? Or is it have to be Tims?
I don't think you can put 5 positions. Sounds... You're not even going to get max level enchant totem.
Yeah, but March does some weird stuff. Like he played a bad.
They did have a March Shaker earlier in the tournament when they went for Earthshaker Morph.
They did, okay. Well, I guess they could still do that then. So they could still look to switch things up a bit here, but let's see. I mean, IG should have a large list of what to do versus that Earthshaker Morphling now that we've seen, and what heroes to ban. I think TNC showed we like making space, we like having these pressuring heroes that can give Morphling all this time to farm, so you see them immediately, they ban the Venom.
Predators turn to ban.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm scared of NP. It's like...
So for anyone who may have just now tuned in the Grand Finals, why are we so down? Supposedly the most OP combo in
Wait. These are not the Grand Finals.
Yeah. Well, Grand Finals day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to avoid any confusion, there's 3 teams left.
Correct. Lower bracket final.
Lower bracket final.
Well, we've just harped on what the opening with your Shaker Morphling, right?
Okay,
and into the Void. All the games that he'd lost, I think it was versus Void. Because not just because of Chronosphere, I think Time Dilation also messes with the combo. It's also Void is pretty much the king of the later stages of the game anyway, even
Common
if it's versus.
Satanic builder.
Yep, that as well. And they do actually ban the NP. So yeah, just I guess this full space bans.
So then are you going to ban out any Dispels on the side of TNC? Because that was the other the other thing that I saw being very effective against the Morph Shaker combo is these Legion Commanders the Abaddons, the Omni Knights with the status resistance.
Maybe, but maybe their concern is still also like AA. You know, there's an AA Void combo that they can still go for, and they're running a Morphling. I don't know if you want to just give up an AA when you're already dictating that this is, you know, you're playing the Morphling strat, right?
He didn't think the panda head thing was cool enough to be a camera. I thought it was nice.
Let's see what it's gonna be.
Wow, that's a big notebook.
Yeah, March has that big old book, and it's just Morph Shaker. Great strats.
Okay, I like that band too, actually. The Skywrath. I think that's another hero that puts a ton of pressure onto Morphling in lane, and also the Chrono Skywrath combo is pretty absurd.
So still some potential for a Witch Doctor, I think, is what Vici Gaming did against the Morph Shaker.
That seemed very specific for
It was.
It's very ROTK kind of thing, right? But maybe they do it.
There's still the Ancient Apparition in the pool as well. I don't know if there's still space for that in the IG draft, but there's the Alchemist still in the pool as well, which is surprising. Normally that second phase ban at least.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go that slow anymore if you're IG. Every single team beating the Morph Shaker combination
just played fast.
Exactly, most them down in the laning phase.
That's the 3 they had yesterday, right? That was the KP running down the lane.
It was.
Making space.
They had the TA and the Lich with that as well. They did 4th pick TA in both their games.
Was that the game that she had the Drow Ranger, or was that the game that she built the Moon Shard on the TA?
I mean, I don't write down builds.
Right, but did she have the Drow Ranger on her team, though?
That team, no. The Drow Ranger was the game after that.
Okay, so that was the Moon Shard TA game that she had the Abaddon. Or am I thinking of a different series?
I think you're thinking of a different series. Yeah,
okay, never mind.
That was one where he just never got online. He went Blink Dagger early.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
he killed the Void once, and then he was kind of not doing much.
And so instead of having an instant silence from Skywrath, they're getting for the instant disable from Lion, high burst as well.
Kaka should be able to get some nice gold on that for a Blink Dagger.
Yeah. Definitely like playing that also versus Abaddon in the lane. Like you just have double disables versus an Abaddon to make sure he doesn't get the heals off. Or the denies, of course.
So yeah, because at least with the Abaddon, you kind of have to initiate on the Abaddon, otherwise your Hex is going to get ticked off again anyway.
So if you do have the Morph Shaker, then how do you slow down the IG push? Because I'm not seeing that much creep clear ever be paired with a Morph Shaker. I feel like they all just kind of double down on the strategy, like, yo, let's make this Morphling gigantic. Let's get like Solar Crest builders. Let's get like an Ogre with Bloodlust and stuff like that. To me, it seems like now the solution is you need to keep people off your towers for as long as possible.
Oh,
they're just going aggressive.
Well, I mean, this is full-blown aggression. And
this
is very weak lanes.
Yeah, that's what
Earthshaker, Morphling, Disruptor. This is really weak lanes. I mean, Disruptor sure he has his nuke and all that, but
wait,
Morphling
is Disruptor for Tim's then? He's the only one that has played Disruptor for his team this tournament, but I know that it's also sometimes played as a 5. So March could play the Shaker and Tim's could play the Disruptor. But Disruptor is more a hero that you want to stay ahead with, or get ahead with and then stay ahead with, rather than trying to delay the game with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure why they're going for it. But
it also kind of gears up towards a potential Templar Assassin if they want to take advantage of Glimpse with Vision on their mid laner.
I feel like they have no Space Creator then for Morphling. It's like we're playing a lineup, right? Like that's literally what they did yesterday, and we saw what happened. They didn't have any way to make space for the Morphling, and Morphling just couldn't ever get online. I feel like they need to have Armel on something that can just go time, look for kills always, all the time. But I feel like he's kind of prevented when Lion's there. A lot of the playmaking mid laners are not happy when you're just getting hexed.
Yeah, and the only one that does kind of work is Kunkka, which is first phase banned.
Yeah. He does really like TA, but TA probably won't do amazing on the lanes.
Yeah, she can't stand up to this level of crowd control.
Yeah, and then you were going to be forced into the jungle, and then it's going to take time, but you don't have that time.
Yep. Morphling's
going
to be like, dude, this is my jungle. Yo, KP is really...
No, but he's
coming up with some great ideas, it seems like.
I mean, he's very pleased with it himself, for sure.
He's just like, getting ready to do space. I'm ready to run down lanes. Gotta shake my hands off right now. Make space for my Morphling.
A page out of the Beast Coast book?
Oh, an off-lane Ancient Apparition.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely possible. I mean, I think it's an excellent pick here, too. It's also good versus Abaddon, as well as the Morphling, too.
Or an emo AA mid.
I could absolutely see that happening as well, yeah. I think TNC could still throw a little bit of a switcheroo here, even though it's probably KP playing the Abaddon. They could switch to see who's playing that one. We saw what? I saw in a bad in 4 position or 5 position.
Yeah, March
right?
played a bad in 1 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think they could still switch it up a little bit here too.
Also, last time we saw with the position 3 AA, we saw the tiny. You know, you get the instant burst, and that was actually against IG as well. So they, you know, they felt that. Which other heroes next to tiny would be able to basically burst Morph down like that with the AA blast? Is there only a couple heroes, or is there so many heroes that can do that burst damage that there's a lot of options for IG here?
There's a good amount of burst. It's just it's the mid hero. Well, we're assuming it's the mid hero for emo. So.
How would you feel about playing Storm into the TNC lineup?
Looks pretty okay.
Okay.
I mean, there's a Disruptor and Shaker, and I guess Morphling that turns into a Shaker, but...
They ban out OD.
On the bright side, still do something like Invoker. Then they have the double global. They have the AA plus the Invoker, and the Lion can set up for kills on the side with Chrono as well. I feel like I could see emo doing an Invoker this game. If it's not AA mid or whatever.
Right.
So,
TNC has got last pick, so they could have something in mind that's going to blow us out of the water.
Yeah.
Or blow IG out of the water even.
5 seconds remaining.
If you're IG, you're just looking to ban a mid laner, I'm imagining.
I'd say ban Comfort Armel hero that can set a high tempo.
Yeah. Which
is left.
you'd think it would be TA, but...
I wouldn't...
I mean,
if I was
it still
IG
might just be the TA, honestly, so...
But if I was IG, I would be okay with the TA.
I would be okay with the TA if I was IG, yeah.
I'd rather ban out...
Yeah, name some more Mel heroes for me.
Puck?
Puck was one I was thinking that they might, but there's a Lion. You don't want to pick Puck for Armel.
Is Ember still in?
Ember's still in, which it could also be a possibility for emo.
Yeah. Oh, she just got super caught
up. She got ganked by the camera.
They banned the Ember.
Yeah.
I like that ban actually quite a bit. I think that was a really good one.
Razor's still in as well. It's not really your Armel hero. I would actually be sad if that was it, because they put a lot of effort into, or Armel will have to put a lot of effort into setting the tempo, and Razor's not that type of hero.
Come on, do AA mid.
They
actually just do the tiny anyway, so that might just be the mid tiny then.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Really
I think they saw it in Beast Coast, almost beat them. And
they were like, this is good.
Yeah.
This is pretty good, guys. I like these guys.
We can do this, yeah.
It's very aggressive as well, and I think it's the active playmaker. I wanted an active playmaker for emo. And that's it. I think Invoker was just way too greedy, actually, when I think back in hindsight. So having this one, he can actually just look to make moves, make space for that Void.
Get global kills with the Ancient Apparition with JT.
Now, what's going to be the pick here for Armel? Versus a Tiny.
I mean, you have 0 time, pretty much.
Yeah, they've got 10 seconds.
What does well against Tiny? Mid.
Doesn't matter. They're going to pick TA anyway. They pick TA in anything.
No,
they do the puck anyway. That was the one we was kind of thinking that they would do. But into the Lion, that makes the game quite a bit harder for Puck.
Yeah, the Lion Sinister Gaze is instant also.
Sinister Gaze is also instant as well, yeah.
You're okay against Avalanche, I suppose. And I don't know, you're not that great against Chrono.
Lane is pretty okay, though, for Puck versus Tiny.
Yeah.
You have high base damage versus like 0 armor.
So for TNC, it really is the case. Can Armel not just win his lane, but crush his lane and then set a tempo?
He needs to just be really fast-paced making moves, right? Because what we saw last time is like KP's just going to, I mean, I don't think it'll be the case exactly this time, but he's just going to be like dying a lot, trying to make space for it. So they need somebody to set up for some kills. But I'm concerned about their damage a bit.
Well, at least it is March on the Shaker.
Oh yeah, it is 5 Shaker.
Yeah.
So then, when does he get max level enchant? It's going to be like 20, 25 minutes or something like that by the time it's next.
Definitely going to be pretty late, yeah. It does take a while for the morph to get that like superpower. You know, level 18 is the one where you're infinitely morphed up.
True.
So.
And this morph is definitely going to have a very, very mean lane. Ancient Apparition and...
Taka probably.
Lion? An AA Lion lane. That seems infuriating to go against.
Dire team ban.
Oh no!
Oh no, it's sagging. The Bacon Twizzler solar panel is falling off.
No, the solar panel.
Wait, I can fix it.
So I think, oh, he's not going to eat that now though. You touched with your hand.
Was he going to eat it?
Was he going
said
to?
He was going to.
No, he wasn't.
That was a bluff.
It was a bluff.
he gave us a maybe. So, I don't know. TNC's they're running it back. At least this time though, they have the puck instead of the TA as this like active playmaker. So I think it's a better chance in this one than I thought yesterday when they picked the Earthshaker Morphling. But I really liked the core AA that we saw Beast Coast. Even though they lost that game, I was a big fan of the way they played around it, and I think Void has been reigning supreme.
All right.
I went to bat for Morphshaker in like 3 games back to back.
Yes.
Because the internet told me it was really good, and then it lost 3 games back to back.
Will you believe
so
the
internet? So let's go for 4.
Yes.
It's the Morphshaker. Of course it's going to win.
All right. It's all about setting tempos. Who can set the highest tempo, and will that Morphshaker be able to dominate the game, to come online at all in this game? Let's find out. First game of the day. It is LD and GoDz.
That's right, Sheever. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Championship Sunday here for the first DPC Major of the 2019-2020 season. TNC, a multinational task force now, perhaps the last hope for the North American Dota fans, GoDz, as well as the Australian Dota fans, and of course the pride of the Philippines facing the underdogs. IG coming in from the minor. Hell of a Cinderella story. Does it end here? Or do they take it to the grand finals and make it an all-Chinese affair?
It should be a fantastic final day, whichever way it goes. I got to say, these two teams coming in, TNC lose a bit of their momentum, dropping down from the upper bracket, whereas IG have just been tearing their way through this lower bracket. It's kind of a question of who can stop them. Once they had that crazy Game 3 comeback against Beast Coast, it just feels like nothing can stop them right now.
And 2 teams that you just don't know what to expect. Will IG be that super balls to the wall, perfectly treading the line of aggression? Well, we're about to find out, guys. The teams have entered the fields of Dota. It's time. Your lower bracket finals with Big Boss Vici Gaming chilling comfortably in the grand finals.
Choose your hero.
A fantastic top 3. I think at least 2 of these teams were expected to be here. Perhaps EG instead of IG. EG finishing in 4th place, but a fantastic lineup of games here, regardless of who goes on to face Vici Gaming.
And IG earned their spot here. They had to take down an EG who beat them in the group stage, 2-0, very convincingly. They looked a little lost, but, man, they have put it together, and they showed that they deserve to be here now, not EG.
They had to earn their spot all the way through the minor, too. They've had the long, long road. They came out here to LA. They were joining us in this studio before making their way back to China. And here they are. The hard work has paid off.
It's relatively standard start here, I guess, for the Morphshaker playing defensively, but we are going to see this AA tri-lane. That's a bit unusual.
Triple range support lane. This is like 3-5 positions all laning together. At least traditionally these would be considered 5 positions.
Oh, they're giving March a hard time here. Bunch of auto attacks from IG. But Kaka also taking a lot of damage. So it does leave us with 2 1v1s, GoDz. Assuming there's not a ton of kills here bottom. How do you feel about these 1v1 matchups?
I really like the ABBA against the Void. He should have a very good time. Already big CS advantage with the Wave pushing under Void's tower. Void should hopefully recover with some CS here. Mid lane, Puck Tiny, I'd expect it to be somewhat even-ish. Maybe ever so slightly Puck favored with the harass, but I don't think either player is going to come out with a big win there.
The pressure now on Tim's, but JT, he was focusing the Morphling. Doesn't have a chilling touch for some time, so won't be able to get the kill. But yeah, this is not going to be the same story for KP as that other game where he was just desperately feeding down lanes to, try and stall the game a little bit. With this kind of start, probably not going to be feeding. He may be diving and creating space.
He's got himself a game. He does find a support up here now, so his free lane is not what it once was with Lich rocking up to the top lane, but this at least gives you the, the peace of mind that Morphling's going to have a better lane now that there's only 2 heroes down there.
And we'll see if TNC make their own rotation. Kaka did snag a double damage route.
Tiny very low in the mid lane.
Argyle's going for it.
Oh, he got the upper mid.
If he hits that, he maybe dies, but the orb was kind of off to the side.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to go in that direction. He was pretty well positioned to not go down.
So 10 and 6 on the puck. This time he might. He phase shifts through the avalanche. Emo does have the chuck, though. Gotta respect that.
The important thing is if you do commit pretty hard for the kill, you can't afford to like get too low on health and have Tiny TP back in the lane and you can't play the lane. That's where you often see these mids, after they get a solo kill, they suicide to the tower because you need to maintain your dominance. And right now, he's shutting down the Tiny's ability to last hit by just keeping him low health. So this is almost just as good as getting that kill. He is going in mid. He's jaunted in with the Waiting Rift. Gets the first blood. Mel.
What a snag.
I mean, that was
Tips coming out.
A good play, but nothing crazy. I feel like Tiny should have seen that one coming.
He was sitting low. There was at least two, false starts there from the puck, just threatening, and Emo, always a confident and aggressive player, not respecting it. Meanwhile, this top lane, look at KP. They've rotated the Lich top. He's 18-1. He is free farming against the dual lane.
Yep.
Having his way with this. Already level 4, so he's looking good. Gabby doing pretty well considering they started with the tri lane. He's 15-4 on the Morph lane. So things are going quite nicely.
Yeah. Small TNC favored lane stage so far, particularly with that first blood, but Tim's in some trouble here.
Nice fissure to protect Tim's. Looks like he should make it back to safety.
He's just probably hoping to throw a few more nukes out before heading back to base or suiciding somewhere on the map. KP himself got very low and had to back out of his lane.
So the core AA, we saw it pretty effective early to mid-game last time it was picked, as they are going to glimpse him. Don't have to wait for him yet, but March is coming in, can just look for some body blocks. Kinetic Field comes through. Nicely played by Tims, and that will secure a kill to Gabby. Well, I was going to ask you how you think this core AA is going to fare, but already a rougher start here than what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it worked amazingly well in that one game, but I'm still not sold on the concept of core AA, particularly with this dual lane or tri lane. Like, yeah, A line, you've got these dual range harass, but you don't really have anyone to front line.
Good Tims just dragging JT around, ring around the Rosie here, but we'll end up going down before the bounty runes spawn. Looks like March probably secures this other one.
Yep. My main worry is they've kind of got 3 support-ish heroes. Ooh. Tiny getting low, but that don't actually make plays that well. Like this AA as a 3 doesn't make plays. Lion needs like a blink dagger before he can make moves. So
the carries make plays.
Yeah, they're very reliant on Emo this game to get anything done. So Emo needs to have a good game. He's already off to a rough start in mid. He's fallen back to the jungle. His blink timing is going to be crucial for this IG team. I personally favor TNC's draft here.
So that was, I believe, 4 bounty runes or 3 bounty runes for the Radiant. So nice job by them. And KP did opt for the bottle in the offlane Abaddon. Not the most common pickup. He is getting bashed here. They're chasing him out. It's a level 5 Void. Not quite enough damage for the kill, but you see the potential is there. Has to respect this fly hero as he gets the chrono. He's got the shield up. He's under tower. A fresh shield pulling down.
Oh,
no, can't get the suicide off.
Very well-timed bash by Fly. He's like, you're not getting any suicides here, KP. I watched your games yesterday.
Just prayed to the frog, and his prayers were answered. Benevolent dictator for now. We'll see how he's feeling after the patch is released and Reddit is on fire.
Oh, man. That's always a fun one.
Bottom lane, JT. They're setting up with the fissure, kinetic field, and a kill, and again to Gabby. So Morphlane having an easier time of it than some of these recent games we've seen where he has struggled in the lanes and mid. On to Armel. Good rotation by Kanka, but I don't think they have the damage for this orb, and will jaunt away.
Yeah, Armel having a fantastic start in this mid lane. CSing well, playing it well. He TP's up top. He's looking for a play or a kill here. What's he up to?
They're going to see creeps running into the tower, nobody hitting them. They also have a ward.
Yeah, they'll spot him in a moment.
Can they get Fly? He's seen this, and he will time walkout.
KP got bashed right before he got the 4th hit silence on Void. Otherwise, that could have been close to a kill. And now Armel knows. He's been scattered. Range creep hits him. They know what's up. Armel knows what's up.
But they like giving Tims a little more space, because Tims is just sitting mid on the Disruptor, getting that early farm. As they will commit with the coil onto Fly. Gonna die for this one.
I like
Orb
this
coming through. They're pressuring the Void. I don't know if they're gonna kill him. Now they turn back for Ali. That is a much easier kill.
With this
Still the chase. A follow-up orb. And Fly's actually dead. TNC pull it off.
Yeah, he just stayed up here. He got scouted and he's like, whatever, I'll just stick around, wait to see what happens. Arcane Rune Puck, insanely powerful. with his low cooldown, low mana cost nukes there, and he wanted to give mid lane to Tims anyway, so Tims could get a few more levels as well as some farm. His 4-position disruptor has been so impactful when he's got that fast ag, so they're prioritizing that. Gabby did die while all that was happening though, so not the best result there.
It does have a couple kills at least, as he is gonna transform into the Lion. Gets off a nice stun with the Fissure follow-up. JT's going down. They do lose March, but it's just a support shaker. And they're going to get the tower top, so TNC got to give them the advantage for these last few minutes. Couple kills on Morphling, take a tower, get your Disruptor his levels. Things are looking up.
Yeah, top 3 net worth all on their side. It's just kind of the supports who are kind of not having a great start, but Tims is, he's changing that up in this mid lane. So TNC got to feel good about this first 8 minutes of the game. KP having his free lane, Puck already winning his lane and then making a move to get a double kill. Can't really ask for more from your Puck, who could theoretically have a tough game if you don't get some of these fast items up or go off to a good start. Playing against the Lion, Hex, the Sinister Gaze, these instant disables could be very problematic for Puck's game.
So they are going to get Ice Blast pretty soon. Can they make something happen against Gabby once that's skilled? We saw a lot of Ice Blast kills early on Morphling in this Morphling AA matchup last time around. But hold that thought. They found Kaka, and despite a nice stun, they will kill the Kaka.
I think if they want to use it, they need Chronosphere probably as a setup. And speaking of Chronosphere, they go and Abbott top.
With Emo here, probably get the kill. But for me, the real question is, what does TNC do now, knowing this Chrono's on cooldown for 2 minutes? Because last time, they came top, they killed Flyfly, and they took his tower.
Yeah, they've got 3 heroes down bottom, but I think it might be hard for them to achieve anything. Pushing into Ice Blast at this stage is a bit spooky. Lion, not quite level 6 himself, but 10 minutes is approaching. So the second that 10-minute mark hits, it's going to be Tome of Experience coming to play, level 6 Lion. I think if you're TNC, you're thinking, let's try and secure some bounty runes with Chrono down. That's one hero they can't fight with.
Looking for Ollie mid. Here's the orb forward. Tim's only the level 1 glimpse. He is going for that farming build with the Thunderstrike level 3. As they try to snag a couple of bounty runes here. And they will end up getting 3, it looks.
I think... Okay, Armo got that. Gotcha.
So Flyfly got the one top.
Yep. I was wondering if they got... They tried to deny the one at bottom IG, but they could not quite achieve that. So, yep, 3 for 1. Morphling top the net worth. Puck right behind. TNC still very happy with where things are at. We've seen mostly this Morph Shaker struggle. It's lost 3 games in a row as an opening 2 picks because of bad laning stages and bad early games, but TNC doing well in the laning stage with the Morph Shaker. That's got to be very concerning when it comes to IG as far as how they're going to fare this game. They are rushing the blink on Emo. I think they've recognized, we have this 3-position AA. What the hell are we going to do? How do we stop this Morphling from taking over the game? We need a playmaker, and it's got to be Tiny.
Yeah, you can't wait for Chrono cooldowns. That is way too long.
Yeah. He's not even upgrading his boots, so very selfless play from Emo. It's kind of all-in-ish. But
they've got Finger of Death as well, but it's going to be tough to go on the Morph. They can maybe take a support. They're going to try winding their way through the trees. Kaka digging deep for this. But look at the positioning from Gabby. He is scared, and he is respecting the gank.
Yeah, he has an idea of where they could be and is using his teammates as meat shields. March is kind of in a position to spot this smoke and pop it. There we go.
Kaka diving in deep for this. He's going to tank a fissure. They keep on going. Looks for the stun around the trees, but Gabby has slithered away to safety.
Yep. Great positioning from both Gabby and March there. Gabby staying away from those dangerous trees on the right side. March popping the smoke. Tims does only have level 1 glimpse here. Can't get the kill on Emo. And his Blink Dagger coming out on Khandheria.
This is a farmed Disruptor, or at least trying to get there. The most farm support in the game by a decent margin. And now they bring KP in mid. Looks like he's going to take a tower. What is IG going to do? They're just waiting on that blink, I suppose. As the Veil has been picked up. Coil comes through. The stun is there, though, locking him down. And from the rear comes Emo with that big stick. He's got the blink now. And he should be able to secure the Tim's kill. The Chrono on the backside, catching out Armel. This Puck would be huge if they could just finish him off. They need a little more damage. They get it. And IG find 3. If for exchange for 1, make it 4. Chucking KP right back. Borrow time is ready. He's got the cloak. Heroes coming back into the mid lane, but they might just be losing more heroes. March, everyone's so low, but he doesn't have Echo Slam yet. Fly should be able to just walk away. They will all get out safely, it appears. Well, DD up on the Morph lane, but just going to use it to jungle.
Yeah. Kind of unfortunate time for TNC to go for that smoke play. It was right as Tiny picked up his Blink Dagger and Shrine to get himself to full health. And on top of that, the initiation was not a great one. The Fissure blocked him on the wrong side, so Puck missed his orb and still jaunted in, going for the Lion kill. And it was perhaps, I think, a kill they should have just not gone for at that point. Once that Fissure is on the wrong side and you miss your orb damage, he should have just been happy to back off. But a great Tiny Blink reveal comboed with a Lich Chain Frost, and IG make a good first mark on this game.
And they can go again. You know, Chrono is down, but Emo, this guy can gank constantly, and the Ice Blast is up in 5 seconds. So will they keep the pressure up? We'll have to see.
They absolutely should. I'd expect Emo to go where his teammates are, like TP down bottom perhaps. Try and keep making some plays. Void is going to want to farm. Whenever Chrono's down, he has no interest in fighting. He's got the Midas.
And it's AA going for 1, too. So we're going to see double Midas here. JT wants to scale into the late game. Get that Ags, I imagine.
Yeah, a little bit on the greedy side, but we'll see if TNC are able to punish this. You're playing against Morph Shaker. It is a kind of slower paced strategy where you might be able to go for these greedier items like the Midases.
So Hasterin now spawned bottom. See who snags this one for TNC. It will be KP. The double bottle.
Yep.
Stealing good old Puck's runes, but he's got a hood already. So they're getting a pipe to deal with this Ice Blast and the AoE nukes.
This is
should be a pretty fast pipe.
Yeah. It's good against all these heroes. Like, even Void has some magical damage with the time lock, but basically all 4 of the other heroes are very heavy on the magic damage. It's an amazing hood/pipe game. Would expect to see even maybe some Glimmer Capes coming out from these supports if they can get. Yeah, Disruptor Tim's is like not even rushing his Ags, which he normally does. He has a Glimmer Cape as his first item pickup because of how heavy they are on the magic damage.
So we're not going to see like the straight out Ags rush from Gabby Gods. That was something a couple Morphlings have felt like pressured to just get involved early, but he does grab the Yasha and the Morbid Mask first, so definitely the better economical build.
Yeah, the Ags, you get it theoretically too early is the problem. Like, you need realistically to have level 15 with the bonus morph duration and level 2 ultimate. If not that, you really want level 18. So if you get the Ags too early, it's like you don't really come online with it. You come online with your levels.
Right now, Shaker has a level 1 enchant totem.
Oh, quick reaction from Gabby.
So a level 1 enchant totem, Shaker, not very scary.
No. Yeah, and with the 5-position Shaker, it takes even longer for the combo to come online. But when it does, of course, it will be insanely powerful.
In the meanwhile, gets a free ward. Very nice, as Fly was having a fish. Not able to find him yet. Oh, there they go. Yeah. They lop the finger, and they will end up getting the kill on the Puck.
Yeah,
the blink was just cooling down.
And Fly didn't even need a chrono. He just blinked in with a time dilation, and Puck just kind of got trapped there. 3 heroes around him all of a sudden. Lion winning a finger, gets some Finger of Death kill damage.
This is freedom, though, for KP. Rather than feeding down lanes, he's just pushing down lanes. Gets the debuff on the tower, and this will likely be the 3rd tower he has claimed this game, unless we see a big rotation from IG right about now. It's been a one-man siege army so far.
It really depends. These other heroes do have some TPs, it looks like.
Well, it's going down one way or another. Even committing the hood for it, he's all in. And he will get it. Borrow time now into the Chronosphere. Ice Blast thrown in as well. No healing for you, sir, but it's a big commitment. And meanwhile, top Ollie has fallen as the trade.
Yep. It's like okay for KP. The dying for the tier 1 tower not being denied is probably overall like a slight economic win for TNC. And when you're playing a slower game, it's not like it necessarily gets punished that you die. Like this tier 1 bottom tower likely going to go down regardless of him dying or not there. So I think in terms of where things stand, it's worth getting that gold for your team.
Midas was picked up previously on JT, now has a point booster. So we're looking at a pretty farmed off-lane AA. He did take the GPM talent, as you normally see. The double Midas strat from IG, trying to take it later against TNC.
Yeah, usually you see double Midas and you want to be seeing the other team play super aggressive and punish the fact that they've basically got 4,000 gold. It's, you know, like 15% of their team net worth is in these Midases, which don't offer anything in a team fight. I've avoided some attack speed, which is damage, but TNC's draft doesn't punish it.
Bottom lane, Ice Blast with an Ava toss onto KP. Borrow time committed, but not healing up as the Sinister Gaze pulls him back in, and another death. That one more costly because it might mean the tower going down. Let's see if IG want to commit for this. They have shown a hero mid. March getting caught out there as well. Kaka there with the chainstone with JT. Very active plays by IG. They may have gone double Midas, but they're playing like they've gone for a bunch of Blink Daggers and Dagons. Just hyper aggressive all around the map.
Yeah. I think TNC are going too all in on this idea of let's just die to create space for these other heroes. Bottom lane Void could be in some trouble against Static Storm.
It might just be turning into let's just die, but maybe not this time. They've got the Veil ambush. They will punish Fly. Very overextended, not respecting that nuke damage. And Tim's, I think that was the Glimmer Cape debut that allowed him to sneak in. As the Ice Blast comes through, he's even got the raindrops here, and he should be just fine. Oh, Ollie's chasing, though. He's dropped a ward.
He wanted to throw a Chain Frost, maybe. With a double nuke, could have perhaps got that kill. But raindrops, he would have actually survived through it, plus Trenkle Boots regen.
They're really itemizing against nuke damage. That Glimmer Cape early on Tim's, I mean, not necessarily like an every game disruptor item. They obviously are getting the hood as well. So everybody trying to survive because it is mostly nukes.
Yep. And we'll see what TNC look to do. Their lead was like 3 to 4K and is being lost ever so slightly here. But the two cores they've got maintaining their pole positions as far as net worth goes, and that's kind of the key thing. Keep Morphling and keep Puck on top of the net worth charts.
By the way, Emo went bots. Now, Puck, I guess a little less surprisingly, has also gone bots. So everybody wants to be mobile here. Speaking of, they found Tim.
There's the Mobilia and the Blink Dagger of Kaka.
Glimmer Cape ain't gonna save you this time, Bubba.
This bot on Tiny Axe, I love it. It's so good for this game because IG's job for the next 5 minutes or so is just to keep hunting for kills. And this tiny bot allows him to be anywhere on the map, helping his team secure and set up some kills.
Looks like a 2 for 2 this time as Fly will grab both bottom.
Yeah, both teams were kind of in the top lane, which meant Void able to solo pick up those bottom runes.
And IG are closing this net worth gap. Obviously, they do have the 2 Midases.
Morphling about to hit level 15 and has the Ag Scepter. Shaker, 2 points in totem, is going down bottom lane. Emo's boots have traveled in once again. He's going to drop an Echo Slam.
Not. Here comes Armel with the Veil, with the turnaround throughout the coil as well. Can they save Emo? They don't have a tier 1. He is far overextended. Now the Fissure. March looking for the turnaround, and now Disruptor reeling him back in. The Ice Blast comes through. Might be able to bring down the Puck. Not quite enough to shatter him with that Glimmer Cape. So he will survive, and again, it's an Arcane Rune on the Puck.
Yeah, these bots are such an impactful item. Shaker almost getting picked off because of it, then Puck able to turn around his boots to travel with one of his own. Such a strong item in the current patch.
Well, as you mentioned, Gabby now level 15. But it feels like it might be level 18 this game. The Chant Totem is level 3 now, so it's getting there.
Yeah, he's happy enough with the level 3 tome, I'd say, but we'll see if he's going to keep on farming. You're in no rush if you're TNC. Your lineup definitely stays fairly strong. You just don't want to get picked off too much because IG now, it's just a 1k gold lead, so kill after kill has somewhat been going IG's way up until that tiny death there. And the double minus GPM is really kicking in with the AA gold per minute talent as well.
Good stuff. Well, this might not be good though. Armel, he's been hexed. Now Sinister Gaze, but the interruption comes through with the Fissure. Static Storm catching out Kaka. They're going to lose their Lion for this. Ali, will he make it out? Just barely. But now Morphs joined the fray, and they just smoked. I think all these heroes rotating and was scouted by that ward. Maybe not Gabby, but he's now shown himself on the lane. The rest of the team, though, sweeping towards mid. Invis Rune to go with the DD, grabbed by KP. Do they actually make a gank happen? All the while, Emo was split pushing bot, and IG a little bit of keep away for them.
Yeah, they've got the Puck who could deal with this. He can always TP around the map very easily with his bots, so it looks like he's going to just push out this bottom lane. No attempt at Roshan. There was a dire scan. It Feels like if Morphling picked up that DD, they may have been able to go for it, but at the same time, very risky. You're playing against Ice Blast, the Chronosphere, tiny blink initiation. Not an easy game to go for that Roshan without perfect vision on your opponents. Something TNC's been really good about. They're just littering this map with observers and sentries.
Oh, GoDz, we've got a pretty calm mid-game here, 23 minutes in. How do you feel it's developed? Like, is either team pulled ahead in terms of the strategic layout of the match, or is this anybody's game right now?
It's still anybody's game, but I think TNC overall just still have that slight strategic edge because we haven't seen the ES Morphling, well, really just the Morphling, have a bad start. All these Morphling losses have come from a bad early game, and I feel like Gabby just thinks he's probably unkillable this game. Even with Ice Blast in the playing field, the way Morph works, where you can turn into this Shaker and be full health again, it doesn't really feel like AA is quite the counter he used to be against Morphling.
They do have a Hex with a Blink, so maybe they can catch him, but if he's playing smart and safe, it's going to be very tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool tools on both sides to make these team fights interesting. The Static Storm, you've got a Shaker, 5-position Shaker. If he ever gets a Blink Dagger, God help IG, although right now he's just doing some Bracer gaming. I don't think March is really eyeing off a Blink anytime soon.
Bottom lane, Kaka, they've caught him out with the Static Storm, reel him back in, zap him. Armel with the Taser takedown, and now Ali also on the run. They do have the coil they could potentially chase, but no vision. And when it's just this split push game, it seems like Tim's is having a very free time of it, GoDz. 3-3-5. He's been involved in 8 kills.
Oh, yeah. And he's farming, pushing out waves. He's got 55 last hits with his max Thunderstrike build that he likes to go for, but he has been the one who will punish the split push of IG. He's first to TP in, he looks for that glimpse setup, and then a second hero to back him up usually swoops on in.
KP, so aggressive here. Has the locked hood, so he can potentially get that double magic barrier up. But IG are camping him out. Looks like they want to commit for this, sending the whole gang in, but KP has retreated.
They just got BKB on board.
Fly wants to go, and a quick glimpse away. Doesn't want to waste his BKB on that. Yeah. So that puts an end to the initial aggression, but here comes round 2.
Fly. It's like, what can I Midas? I need a Midas something. There we go.
Can Tim's TP out? They're hunting for him. Yep. And he will be gone.
Morphling BKB online as well, so all this magic damage, the AI Plus, not going to be quite as potent as far as dealing with Gabby's Morphling now. Level 18 has been hit. So
smoked by IG. They really want to make something happen with this BKB.
Do they know they're in Roshan, though? This is a bold play from TNC. It looks like they're going to get cold feet, though.
Ha, I see what you did there. Fly's moving in. IG are starting to close. They get the Hex off on a bat, and they need a good chrono, though. The Fissure's going to make it tough. Fly still not popping that BKB. Time dilation comes through. They're going to Yules him and just stun him for days. He grabs a haste, though. This could be the answer. Time walking again. Chrono, though, only catching out 1 here. I don't know if that's good enough. Disruptor,
he's still alive.
Glimmer. They got to finish him. They got to finish him, and they can't. Now the BKB chasing forward onto March. He will get the Earthshaker kill at least. Instant buyback though, and that's a 5-position Earthshaker. That's just not good enough. Morphling, meanwhile, starting to clean up here. He's found 1. He gets off a Fissure looking for more. Now the chase, and he connects. Nails that Tiny. Can he finish him? Emo backing away, another Enchant Totem. Fissure coming through from the buyback. And that is another kill. So a core down, a BKB blown by the Void, and right back into the Roche pit for TNC.
Yeah. That was the full 10-second BKB too. He needed every second of it because it just felt like the second his BKB wore off, TNC were ready to burst him down. I can't believe Tim survived as long as he did. KP on the outside, throwing miscoils, using the pipe to block some damage. And then right as the chrono ended, he glimmers himself to stay alive.
And there's just not that much right click right now.
Yeah.
Even the Void you mentioned, there's the magic damage from the time lock, it's the Maelstrom. He's mostly magic damage too.
That's Roshan, that's Aegis for Gabby. His Morphling looking to carry this game. A great job sidestepping, getting out of the pit when the Ice Blast flew in, so it was just the puck getting hit by it. And he makes sure that Roche goes without any kind of a hiccup.
Well, despite the Morph Shaker getting trashed yesterday, several times over the course of the last few picks of it. TNC, you gotta admire them sticking to their style, just making a few adjustments at the start of the draft with that Lena ban early and going right back to the well for what's worked for them thus far.
Yeah, a lot of teams would maybe be reconsidering and pushed away from one of their best strats after it loses like it did yesterday, but TNC not afraid to bust it out. Makes such a big difference when in the terms of the grand scheme of things in a best of 3, because you lose with it, you're going to lose confidence in picking a game 2. You win with it, suddenly IG's like, oh, I guess we just got to ban it.
And then the draft may open up for some other sort of cheese or, you know, next level strat.
You know, they're Chen, they're Alchemist. TNC have a lot of strats that are just so good in the current meta that teams haven't really figured out how to beat.
Kaka been scouted out, and that's all they need for Tims to reel him back in with the Veil, the silence. There's the kill, and they might get Ollie as well.
Yep, got the coil down.
Oh, they did. So that's 2 dead. The supports. Meanwhile, top lane, they're diving onto this Tiny. They've caught Emo out. Can they bring him down in time? The enchant totem, you betcha. TNC make it 3.
That's a DD morph.
This is turning into a very difficult game for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah.
Playing from behind versus a Morph Shaker versus
JT
a
might be dead
Disruptor.
here.
They may lose a 4th. Quick commitment here, and he is deleted. That's a dominating streak. All of it to the Morph Machine. Towers are going to start melting. They don't have this AA for 40 seconds. That might mean TNC just go high ground here. I don't know if IG can defend this. They need that Ice Blast to even have a chance.
Yeah. Gabby is slow in mana. It makes life a little bit perhaps easier for them, but can still morph.
Enough for an enchant totem there.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
He's happy enough and looking to get this Rax here with the AA still dead. Tiny as well. 2 key heroes if you want to defend. Looks like IG are just going to have to give up this full mid lane of Rax.
Flyfly's not even coming. He's farming the enemy jungle right now, and Tims is actually, it looks like, hunting for him. Or no, maybe securing bounty runes.
They just grabbed the range Rax. They respect the respawn timers of IG. They know that they can take these shrines.
And they haven't seen the Void farming, I don't think. He was in the jungle, so no Radiant Wards over there.
This is the new and disciplined TNC. It's something that we started seeing a lot more of when Heen joined the team as their coach, and now that March has joined their squad post-TI, there's been a lot more calm composure, way fewer throw-in games in the late game. TNC just making these very calculated calls.
IG on the back foot. I can't say I recall seeing them win a game where they're really far behind, GoDz. Like, all of their wins to me have been primarily with them winning early and just snowballing. Yeah, there was the one crazy comeback against Beast Coast, but that's about it.
That's true.
And that was not a game they should have won. So
yeah, they like doing well early and snowballing from there.
Gabby, he's hopping around. He's going to commit the BKB here. Goes rushing in and just deletes Ollie. Now they're going to find more. It's morphin' time, baby. Tiny can't stand against this. Dagon from Armel will secure it. And the route is on, and it's straight back to the mid lane now. Hunting for more. A follow-up fissure. They're going to destroy the Void. That's 3 dead.
BKB
no
too.
Buybacks. IG, they're coming for your base. Top lane, there's no tier 2. They might just throw it. No, they're hopping to top. They're looking for more.
See a kill.
Gabby's here. JT tries to run, tries to hide, but there is no escape from the Waterman. He is big. He is strong, and he is coming for your base.
GG.
IG, that's
it's
it.
over.
Morph Shaker is back. It was a very short hiatus, about a day, but TNC have pulled it back from the grave.
Yeah, the pick-off potential when you can just fly across the map with that Axe Totem and then you have the waveform on top of it. You can't get away from this guy. Void dies without buyback and the game just ended. It feels like IG played this one a little bit too passively. We didn't see perhaps Flyfly using that Chronosphere as actively enough to really make a difference, and very convincing, easy win for TNC, it feels like.
Rocking and rolling in Chengdu. IG might have a hometown crowd, but TNC seem very comfortable, GoDz.
Nothing like a good old Morphling to quiet down the crowd.
Yeah, you know, seeing that hero win is not like gonna get a thunderous applause going. Not yet. Not winning that way.
It wasn't the flashiest of games for TNC. It was like, let's just chill. IG's not making plays. We're winning the lanes, and that's how we've seen Morph Shaker lose. You beat him in the lanes. It's a very weak laning hero. But this AA Lion Lich tri-lane, I don't know. I'm not sold on how it worked together, particularly because the Lich had to ditch the lane so early. If they had that tri-lane and they had a better 1v1 matchup, the Void was just losing his lane. Void needed help. And without a Void having a good game, they were never going to win. So they had to secure his lane, and that meant the tri-lane fell apart. Davies free-farmed. Things went south very quickly.
The other big twist here was KP having such a good start was the other side of that coin. Even though the Lich went top, he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
KP still took the tower. They ended up coming with the puck and getting those early kills. The shot calling from TNC here was very crisp down the stretch.
Yeah, and then Armel, 8-2 and 11, 19 of the 23 kills. His puck, it went off. He had like maybe one death that was a bit silly, but he had a hell of a game. Really standout playmaking performance from him.
Yeah, there was a Lion, but how often is Lion actually going to be catching you when Kaka has a bad start? The blink wasn't that early, and by that point, they had the Glimmer Cape up on the Disruptor, and Lion just wasn't really able to shut him down.
Yep. TNC, going to feel good about that. That's a good confidence booster, and now suddenly questions up to IG. What do you do to change this? Because Morph is still very, very good when paired with the old Shaker.
Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, TNC, they draw first blood here. They're looking for a rematch with VG Gaming. Can IG force it to a Game 3, or is it going to be a clean 2-0 sweep? We'll find out, but first, the panel's got to break it down.
Thank you. Indeed, it turns out 4 times is the charm, right, Tsunami?
I knew it.
You knew it.
I had faith the entire time.
I never doubted it for a second.
Didn't question a single moment of that game. I saw the draft. I saw the first 2 picks. I thought, what could possibly go wrong? There's no way you could lose 12 lanes in a row with this combination. And they didn't.
They did not.
They only lost 10 of them.
Yeah, they definitely impressed. Armel, for me, for sure, was the most impressive one. I think Parker was the one saying it at the end there. He played phenomenal. He got the solo kill on Emo in the lane, too, which is going to dictate a lot of the pace of the game, and it allowed him to really accelerate forward. And it really did accelerate quite quickly. I think when was the Agonist picked up? It's probably right at that little turn right there, right?
A little turn. It's just a little turn.
Yep, there it is.
Part of it was March also sacrificing himself for the levels. He knew his job was just to max out Enchant Totem.
Yeah.
So it looked like he had some questionable deaths, but ultimately it was all for the greater good of Gabby's Morphling.
Yeah, he didn't have to. March just had 4,000 hero damage. He just got to chill back, die in some lanes, get your levels, and just make sure Gabby has a good game.
He took it away from KP. KP was like, I'm the space creator around here. He was like, no, not this time. This time I actually want you to win your lane and be relevant in the mid game.
And he did.
He was.
He did very good.
We started, or rather we ended the draft, started the game saying that it was going to be about tempo, and we were thinking that the AA and the Tiny could do maybe the same thing as what we saw Beastkos do with it. We thought maybe they could be that disruptive force and clear out the Morph time and time again is what we saw happening to IG for Beastkos. Why didn't that ever work? Why didn't that get off the ground?
Emo was slowed down, right? He got killed in the lane. I think he's like the biggest playmaker in the game here, and they also ran an aggro tri-lane.
Yeah, I think that was
it didn't really work the best, and they broke it almost immediately, but by the time they broke it, Abaddon was already kind of happy, right? KP was almost like level 3 or something like that. He's gotten a good amount of net worth too, so they couldn't actually bully him. Yeah, I was a bit confused why they started the aggro tri-lane, but I guess they were just like, we have 3 squishies. We don't know who to put as the frontline hero in the dual lane. Yeah, it was a bit weird, and it just didn't end up working out.
I think the Ancient Apparition pick overall was unnecessary, I suppose. I think between the Lion and the Lich, you have enough laning dominance with those 2 heroes that you don't need to worry about hard countering the Morphling whenever, I guess, the mid-game fights come online. But I guess they wanted something to be able to play with a Tiny in the mid-game.
Yeah.
But then just like have a very farmed Lion with a Blink Finger and a farmed Tiny, you should be able to do something. Because all the Morph Shaker games that we saw lose, they lost all 3 lanes on the team that had the Morph Shaker.
Yeah.
And here they only lost 1 lane technically, but it was aggressive tri-lane, so you were expected to lose that. But mid lane did great for Armel, off lane did great for KP, and it didn't really matter what happened to Gabby's lane at that point.
So would you say the game was already quote-unquote over by the time the lanes were done? Like, it should have already gone different for IG to even have a shot at this game?
Yeah, because all the other Morph Shaker games also had like a 7k net worth advantage at like 5 minutes into the game or something like that. So any game that I haven't seen Morph Shaker fall behind within the first 5 minutes is what everyone expects, is that they'll just ultimately take over the mid to late game without any hope.
So was it then not Morph Shaker winning, but rather IG just playing the matchup badly?
Yeah, but there also are not very many hero combinations that can, like, close a game that quickly with that amount of farm on one hero.
Yeah. Yeah, Armel for sure, though, with that MVP. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like... I like the AA when Whisper was playing it and all that, and I can understand the whole concept, but just give JT a JT hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the guy's so good. He's been so impressive the whole tournament. This one, they tried something. It didn't work. They're probably going to switch it, or they're just going to ban out either the Shaker or the Morphling. They learned, at least.
Anytime we see him on a non-J, like his Magnus is also, we'll always be like, this is not going to be IG's path to success. So just let JT play his Kunkka, his Axes, his Centaurs, anything that has playmaking potential with just him.
Yeah. He needs to be the one setting the tempo.
Right, exactly.
I guess they kind of relied on Kaka this time to do that on this Lion.
Just because of how badly it went for Emo, I feel like, because they didn't get that like great start as the Tiny. I feel like if you get a good start as Tiny and you get rune control, you can obviously just like run from lane to lane, but that was not the case this game. Armel killed him. They had rune control as well, and I feel like, if you have rune control versus Tiny and it's a mid Tiny, that's usually when you're going to do really well versus him, and I think they got all the early runes. So.
I did like Kaka's Lion, by the way. I think
he did well. Sure.
IG has been doing real well, get into the top 3 here, and we've given a lot of praise to mostly JT and Emo. And yesterday, of course, Fly stepping up as well. But Kaka kind of flying under the radar, also because he's no longer the playmaker. JT now is nothing specifically against him, but this game he did have the chance to step it up. And
on a non-Lina hero also.
On a non-Lina hero.
Kind of Lina anyway, right? Lion, Lina, they can. One's not a hex, it's not an instant disable, but they both have stuns and they have long.
What do you have gone Shadowblade Lion is the question.
People used to actually.
Really?
Some time, yeah.
Oh,
like very rare. Like just for split pushing things, just some very split pushy games. If you have global heroes like AA or Zeus or Invoker or something that people used to do that. But
was this game any indication of the rest of the series though?
Yeah, well, Lyrical said it, I think, backstage. This is like the ultimate flex opening where it's just like, you're not Vici Gaming. You can't beat our Morph Shaker. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, it's true.
So it may be TNC just asserting dominance in a Game 1 situation, and win or lose, they were both satisfied at the fact that they could just put that into IG's head, being like, you're not grand final material, dude. You're a minor winner. Get out of my tournament.
I mean, that is really true. There is a lot of the teams do like doing that, right? When you have a BO3, you might as well try something out that you know is you've tested a million times and it's worked. Sure, it didn't work a couple times earlier in the past and whatever, but for the most part, it has worked for them. So, yeah, you've got a game of leeway, and now it's even better because now you put the pressure on. Now IG has that in their head, and they're like, shit, we might actually just have to ban Morph in their Shaker instead of just giving it to them and playing against it. You might actually just have to switch up your style.
The mental battle is already halfway won in that case. We're going to find out what's going to happen in game number 2, though. It will happen after this break. on one side, there's a team that hasn't lost a single event they participated in since this iteration. It's TNC, and they're facing a team that is trying to make their run through the minor to the major grand finals. They are IG. They are also one game down in this lower bracket finals here at the MDL Chengdu Major, the first major of season 3 already of the DPC circuit, which is now, I say, double circuit. DP circuit.
ATM machine. Coddle of the light.
Coddle of the light.
Quap of pain.
Dota Pro Circuit.
Dota Pro Circuit.
Dota Pro Circuit.
It sounds nice though. That one like makes it a bit like Dota Pro Circuit. Sounds like no one ever is gonna say automatic telegraph machine, whatever the hell it is. Telemachine. Sorry, what do I say? Telegraph. Teller machine.
Dota Pro Circuit. Here with Fog and Tsunami.
And we've got a.
No, we don't. Actually, we do.
Kinda do.
In a second.
Maybe.
Give me a
Please
second.
hold. You're spoiling the viewers at home. They're now expecting a draft ASAP.
I was just hopeful. And
there you go.
What a shock.
So you guys are saying you should ban out a Shaker or a Morph, probably the Shaker, if you're IG, because you don't want to have that happen again. Yes or no? Ban Shaker, yes or no? You gotta say it before IG does it, otherwise it's no analytical skill.
I'm gonna say they should, but they won't. How about
Plus
that?
1 to that.
Okay, they should, but they won't.
Yeah.
Shaker Morph was not the problem,
Well,
says IG.
Also,
it ended up being the problem, but I think like Armel is what caused the problem, though. He's the one who made that. You know, they couldn't put the pressure on because Armel had this fantastic game. So.
Also, I think that if you prove that you're scared of it, then supposing you do beat TNC, then all of a sudden you look that much more vulnerable to Vici Gaming because they're like, you have to ban it, then you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think you stick to, like, for TNC, you just stick to what you've been doing. Ban those JT heroes, make him play some weird stuff to throw him off guard. And for IG, I want to see emo on him. I don't know. I didn't feel Tiny was emo. I don't know, for some reason. It just didn't. I know he's probably played it a billion times and all that, but, like.
He lost to Pucks, like he gave up first blood and
that's not emo.
Telegraphed first bloods possible.
Yeah, that's not. That just doesn't feel to me like emo the way he's been playing this.
So Morana was banned previous game by TNC themselves. This time they ban out the gyrocopter instead of it. That's the only difference from previous game in terms of all the 6 bans we see here. But they have first pick, so they grab it first.
You don't know.
And IG had first pick last time?
Yeah.
And they went for Void?
They went for the Lich.
Oh, Lich, that's right.
The also terrifying position 5.
It's true.
That was actually a good point that they first picked Lich. That one was a bit weird. So, playing versus Morana, great way to start off. Being able to remove that one easily with shields and off yourself, too.
And you get rid of that for KP. It's an eye pick as well, and we've seen KP be so good with that.
And it's very flexible.
Yes.
As we've seen it ran in 3 positions. We've seen it, 4, 5, and 3, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to just do Void still? This is a big question here.
Yeah. Or if they want to go for like a Drow strat. Yo, Disruptor's having a renaissance right now.
What is going on right now, right? It's just like everyone's like, yo, this hero's good now.
They picked him against Nightstalker and everyone's like, wait, what if we just pick him against every single team?
Right? Like TNC or IG's like, wait, we just lost to a bad and Disruptor, you know, like.
It's been working out.
Yeah, it's definitely been looking a lot better than I thought it would, and I'm sure. You know, I mentioned it the other day too. I know No-Tail's not the biggest fan of this hero, so I'm really curious to see how he feels about these Disruptor picks.
I do think that it's definitely a change of pace to be maxing out Thunderstrike and be like, dude, I'm not gonna help my team with glimpses. I need to farm up my Aghanim Scepter, then I'll start helping my team.
Ooh, very early. Oh, this looks like a TI opener, right? That was the openers we had at TI every game. So because the Abaddon is shown, and also I guess that Disruptor can be kind of good versus OD sometimes, but because the Abaddon is shown and they have the combo with the Morana, OD looks pretty nice. Silences are annoying though. Definitely don't like playing versus silences.
Are annoying. Nyx Assassin's still in the pool, and that's a hero that we've been seeing picked almost snapped reflex against OD.
And that was the duo support, right? Nyx plus Abaddon.
Yeah.
I think we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's right. When the Nyx got the Aghanim Scepter eventually.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was IG, wasn't it? Am I missing?
Was it IG? Sheever?
Did IG
pick Nyx Assassin Abaddon?
Yes.
That was them who did it,
That was
right?
the last game they played against EG.
That's
that was the same as the Monkey King game.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember it was Kaka. He was like extremely farmed on this Nyx Assassin. He had an Ags and like an Urn or something more. very early on in the game. So definitely a possibility for them to go. They're going to ban out Drow Ranger here first.
Yo, Void making it to second phase.
Right?
I must say, though, I do hope it's going to be Ollie playing the Disruptor, because I do feel like yesterday Kaka had a Disruptor game as well. He had a couple of unfortunate moments.
He had a very unfortunate moment.
Yes.
Glimpse
out
of an ag, out of an ag static storm.
Yes.
Not even just a regular static storm. It allowed, I think, the Night Stalker to get BKB off and run rampant.
But that's one of those things where you're like, that's when you're not a very well-versed Disruptor player, because that's like, okay, let's press all the buttons on this one target. Oh wait, one of them's actually helping him. Wait a second.
They actually ban out the Void, and there's the next ban, of course. Think about that.
Heads up, there's still Morph and Shaker in the pool, and we have been saying, even when it's not first two picks, second, or picking a third, fourth is actually still really good as well.
This time, though, you're a no OD's mid, and OD is not the same space creator as a Puck by any means.
So I could see it for IG if they want to go for it, but I don't think TNC can repeat another Morph Shaker.
Well, IG also banned out the Void, so maybe they are planning on doing something like that.
Yep.
Especially now that they know that the Drow is banned, they don't have to worry about TNC doing a Drow strat.
Yeah.
The Drow did look better over, though. Obviously better for IG. Even though, I mean, they could have actually ran it here with OD and Mirana.
Yeah.
But the silences, right, it really starts to build in. And fast-paced hero.
So who's the JT hero? Who are we thinking for JT? I would be down for some Conka, which... Oh, no, it's banned.
Yeah, that's... we're never going to see that.
If he's not playing the Abaddon.
If he's not playing the Abaddon, that's true.
Previous game we had a Timbersaw on the second phase ban. It's one of his good heroes too.
Into OD.
I'm not a fan of a JT Abaddon in this situation.
You're not. You want him to be able to actually like move around and make plays rather than just like I park in front of tower, I hit tower. Yeah.
That means that in the pool, Timber, Axe, Centaur, and Sand King.
Which Sand King is probably the best.
And Legion.
Yeah.
But they already have the Abaddon, so they don't really need the Legion.
I think Sand King probably, out of all those, sounds the best because all the other ones, you don't want to play versus OD, pretty much. You Axe, you just put him under when he goes, or you put out the target that he goes under.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking for JT. And then for Emo, has he played any Pugna by any chance?
This tournament?
This tournament.
No.
Okay.
He's played probably Sniper. Sniper is still always going to be one of those big options when you see the OD.
That would be sweet.
And the Sand King is the pick there. I think that's the best out of all those options. It's a very fast stun that comes out. It's high magic damage that falls together with it as well.
I thought you said Centaur was the best option.
No, Sand King.
Oh, I misheard. My bad.
No.
I'm like, why?
No, all those strength heroes like Axe, Centaur, and stuff like that. Playing versus OD is always like a. It's always a bit of a yikes a bit here. Mirana does come. Kopilow does come out. Oh, sorry. That can set them up to have a lot of nice combos. These all those carry picks.
Quick Storm already being shown.
I mean, like the Evo Storm.
He sees the two supports. He sees it's Mirana and it's Kopilow.
I see
no
free
real
kills. Stuns.
Yeah, they have arrows and Will-O-Wisp as their stuns to disable the Storm right now, which are not the greatest.
And then I guess the Storm OD matchup is just pretty much skill based, right? I would think Storm gets more CS early on. Static Remnant, but then once Imprisonment comes out and OD just pushes out the lane constantly, then what do you do with Storm?
Yeah, I think it's just a farm one, right? I think Storm just goes to jungle eventually, and it's like whatever, you're going to out farm at a little bit of a faster pace. OD, though, can set up the arrows with the Mirana. That's the one thing that's a bit of a threat there that they probably are a bit scared of. And both teams getting Dispels, right? We have an Abaddon and an Omni. Heavenly Grace versus a Aphotic Shield.
5 seconds remaining.
So what do you pick for a Fly Fillet hero into an Omni Knight?
Monkey King.
Ooh.
They did it yesterday versus the OD as well.
Yeah.
They're still kind of lacking on the old Disables on the side of TNC. It feels like it's like this last pick needs to better be real good. Like there's a lot of pressure on that last pick.
Yeah, and it will be a Gabby hero, basically guaranteed.
What's a good chakra combo now that's in the safe lane?
Well, it was CK, but
that's the one that's
do they still want to go Bristle, but then you're like even more going no Disables?
The two that I was thinking was Lifestealer and CK, and then I'm like, wait, yeah, those are both banned out.
Give me some Gabby heroes that he's played.
Gabby has played in this tournament so far PA, but that was together with the Mag. Nightstalker Band. Yeah. Morph only together with the Shaker. CKPA again. He did play an Alchemist.
No. Most are taken out.
He also played Naga and a Drow, but Drow banned too.
Yo, all of his heroes
all
are
of his
gone.
heroes are gone.
Yeah.
Except for PA, but I don't want the PA.
Yeah,
PA
the other
and Naga.
The other combos used to be like what, Ember and Troll that people used to like a lot with Kopilow. They banned the Monkey King. I think that was a really good ban. I definitely think that they would have picked it on IG if it wasn't taken out. Yeah, the only two I can think of is like Ember and Troll that synergize really well with Kopilow. I'm probably forgetting about a couple.
But if you're playing Troll, I kind of don't like.
I don't like him.
Troll feels so like luster, and you're up against a Disruptor. You're just gonna get glimpsed and burrowed, and you're gonna be so sad.
I don't like the hero. Like I don't think it's like the best anymore. I just think that's like the pairing that people really liked because you chakra double whirling axes and stuff like that in the laning phase. It's pretty strong. Other one people used to do versus Sand King was Anti-Mage, and there's a Storm in the game.
Ooh.
I don't know if they'll go that far out the box.
Nah,
They're just gonna stick with a comfort one.
Again, though, as said, not an extra disable. The only thing they have is an arrow and a Will-O-Wisp.
We saw Emo go crazy on Storm a couple times, and he's versus like no disable again. It's looking like a really solid Storm game right now. But there is heals. That is one of the things that Storm can be a little bit annoying. I know Blitz always used to talk about that.
There's a mana leak.
Kind of. It's a shadow of its former self.
All right, but it's a mana leak against Storm, you know? At least he's not going to get stunned.
Yo,
but
if he does that, Bristle's going to be like, did you seriously cast Chakra on someone else other than me
Wait,
in
actually,
this game?
does mana leak actually, or Chakra Magic, I guess, when he ball lightnings, it doesn't. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Moot point. Okay, so what's going to be our Fly hero?
Something that can deal with laning up against. Wait, do you think they're gonna put Bristle in like an aggressive situation?
That's Gabby.
Oh,
wait, they might put it in as an aggressive. That could be.
That's if you want to pair it with Kopilow.
Ooh, they take a Morphling for themselves. There's like no stuns for a Morphling and a Storm on IG.
Any kind of funky copies he can make?
The Sand King. That's the other one we saw. The Ags with the Sand King, and you just burrow strike super far in.
Yeah, but I don't think you build an Ags
it's not
just
the same.
for that.
It's not the same for sure.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the E-Blade looks, like the shotgun build Morphling looks quite strong, because you're up against Guardian Angel from Omni Knight, so your physical damage is going to be lacking, and IG have a ton of magic damage, so why not just double down on that with your Morphling?
These two, super elusive carry heroes that also have an Abaddon behind them that's going to be shielding and stuff.
Yeah, and you don't even need to worry about morphing in your team. Just turn into KP, put Heavenly Grace on yourself, and then toggle back into Morphling.
We are going to have Kaka try to redeem himself. He is the one playing the Disruptor this game. It will be Abaddon for Ollie. Don't laugh at that. That's
well, how much could he mess stuff up with a bad glimpse this game? I feel like there's a lot of potential to glimpse out of Storm
If he
Spirit.
gets an Ags, he can mess a lot of stuff up. Because if you're getting, for example, an OD, you know.
It's true.
Can get his BKB off. All right. You guys have been talking about this draft like IG's got this in the bag, or rather, you know, they've got the upper hand purely because they got the disables and they are having heroes that thrive on the enemy not having disables, which is the case for TNC. Anything to look out for this match?
There's still strong lanes by TNC. That's the one thing that they can get away with here, but this limited disable versus Storm and Morphing has me extremely concerned. Because if the game gets to a point where anything like if TNC doesn't have a good hold of the game and it's like just people are splitting up and not grouping together, you're just gonna get picked off all over the place by Disruptor, by Storm, by Morphling and Sand King.
So they need to have a good start again, like they had previous game, and basically build off of that.
Yeah, they need Gabby to be this like super beefcake, running through it, not getting his stacks stolen by a Sand King or anything like that, so he can be this frontline hero.
Super beefcake, Tsunami agrees?
I think it's going to be a Storm Spirit bonanza this game. I think this man's going to have 23 Bloodstone charges by the time the game ends.
All right. Well, let's see if we can have a super beefcake on Gabby and force a 2-0, or if there's going to be a third game and Storm Emo is going to just go crazy. Find out with GoDz and LD.
All right, guys, well, forget about us because there is action in the game already, so we're going to hop right into it. It's an early smoke rotation from IG. They're setting up here on March, and they should get a juicy first blood, so well, he's caught out for now. They're going to try to chase him. Heal comes through. Maybe they won't. Looked like they might have had him, but Sand King not in range. Still, though, they're going to control this jungle, so they'll at least get their 2 bounty runes. Yeah. I thought they would have had him there. They had the vision. They had 4 heroes in the area, but just skates away.
Kopilow is very fast. 332 movement speed without boots.
And then the blinding light, obviously.
290 on Sand King. Yeah, it's just Sand King can't get in range there, unfortunately.
Well, that was anticlimactic, but
True.
an exciting showdown here, guys. This is potentially IG's last game in the tournament. They've got to win, and they're going to put all their eggs in just the playmaking basket, GoDz. JT on a comfort here on the Sand King. He was huge on this hero. He was also big on the Legion Commander, these heroes that can take team fights, be aggressive, have lockdown. He's got that emo in the game with very little control for him. And, of course, a Morphling last pick in a game where there's not much control. So how do you feel about the way the teams are going to match up?
I think IG's very happy with the draft they've ended up with here. They're one of the few teams that's made this Morphling work without the Earthshaker, and the last time I saw them do this was against an Omni Knight. It's a very good hero to steal spell from. You get the Heavenly Grace, you get the Purification, so he's going to be looking to probably take advantage of that. But at the same time, I think TNC has no issues with their draft. Like, yeah, they don't have many stuns against this Storm Morphling, but they still have very strong lanes and can try and snowball this game.
And this Morphling Abaddon duo, not the happiest start here, as Abaddon's already chewed through almost all of his regen as far as mana goes. You can get that deny and come back to lane, but KP on the Omni is pressuring hard, and they're diving.
Whoa.
A double leap forward from Tim's. He's got the arrow. He wants to commit for this. Ollie might potentially just be able to deny himself. Arrow off the mark.
Nice sidestep from Ollie. He saw that one
And
coming.
he's going to have to walk all the way back, so it leaves Fly isolated under the tower. That's good at least. As Kaka gets aggressive bottom, he's hit level 2, and he's caught out March again, and this time there will be no such escape. First blood to Kaka.
Good job catching him during the cooldown of Blinding Light. If he has that up, it's an easy escape, but it's a short cooldown. But
Blinding Light has a cooldown? I feel like that spell's always up.
It's a quick 14 seconds, but up until that point, definitely top lane being won by TNC, but bottom lane going well for IG. The Kaka Disruptor causing some problems right out of the gate.
Oh, this is real sweet for Emo. Regen rune for him as we see Fly getting pressured heavily here in the top lane. He's only level 2, so there is that danger of dying if they can stun you and just right-click you down.
KP's starting item with an Orb of Venom has caused all kinds of problems. He had this from level 1. He got pulled some extra Tengos so he could get away with it. Normally you can't get Stout and Orb of Venom in the offlane, but with the pulled Tengos, he's making it work, and he's harassing a hell of a lot, causing IG a world of pain.
Yeah, we're up against the Quelling Blade melee hero with a decent animation. Even Morphling is going to struggle a bit to last hit, and that's ignoring the harassment that you pointed to.
Yeah. Anytime Morphling comes close, he's getting right-clicked by this Omni. Not a proper ranged hero.
Gabby getting aggressive in the bottom lane. They may have gotten that early kill on March, but he's diving with the Mango. He's going to pop it now.
Gets
grabbing a bottle.
We've seen him usually do this on his Bristleback when he plays. He gets the bottle, uses the charges, gives it to his supports to try find some runes and refill it, and just gives you a lot of sustain for your laning stage.
Ollie going for a neutral deny here, it looks like.
Yep.
So definitely struggling a bit to keep Fly healthy in this lane, as Gabby will be brought down. Got a little overzealous.
Big kill. That was the second point in Thunderstrike, I believe, helping get that one. At least he has 2 in it now. This nuke is very, very powerful. The damage scales very well when you get that second point in it.
Tim's proving a nuisance here in the woods. Storm,
Bottom
kind of
lane,
like
Kaka maybe has another kill.
Let's see, can they bring him?
Oh, didn't get the haste rune.
Down? No, looks like March will get away for now, but the Thunderstrike coming out. March is going to be very low.
Yeah, it's not going to quite be enough. Kaka was about to pick up a haste rune, which would have got him a kill, but March denied
Storm is not level 6, and they are pinging out this lane. They want an arrow rotation on him with an astral setup, and they've not done it yet, but the way Armel is playing, Emo's got to be a little sus.
Should know this is coming, but...
Arrow, I think it might be a little too late. Oh, just clips him as he walks forward. Good effort by Emo. But the Abaddon comes in. Oh, just a bit late. Ali not able to heal him in time.
Yeah. The way Emo was playing that was like, he seemed to know that the Mirana was around for that Astra on the arrow, and I think he was expecting
they do have
TP right
they have
away.
a ward, so I'm pretty sure they saw that rotation, but Tim's, he was juggling for a while after he ran past the ward, so maybe just lost his focus, or thought the Abaddon TP would come faster. Speaking of the Abaddon, Ali getting bullied. He can't even come top, so it's a 1v1. Fly doing okay for now.
Bounty runes are spawning. It looks like IG get both bottom and both top should go TNC's way, even though they weren't prioritizing them, but no one on the IG side are there to take them at all.
Well, Storm getting slowed down a little bit early. The Morphling under pressure from the Omni Knight, still farming well, but our panel mentioned wanting to see good lanes. So far, we're getting them out of TNC.
Yeah. I think TNC's pretty content with how things have gone. The Bristle dying in his lane, I think this is the one area where their lane's gone worse than expected.
And he maybe dies again here. They're going on him with the Thunder Strike.
He's trying to turn it.
He's got the Quill stacking up though. JT in danger, has the stick, didn't get it off.
Oh, we might get two here.
And they're going to find Kaka as well. Doesn't have that pointed glimpse. Looking to goo him down. It turns and fights. Gabby will turn his back.
Stick.
He's got his own stick.
Oh, barely survives.
15 HP. That's a close one. And meanwhile, Fly also being pressured. IG down 2K already. Non-stop, relentless aggression.
This T1's dead. There's a siege creep. There's nothing you can do. Fly's on 1 health here. Okay, he comes back in and morph strength.
Just wants to maybe drag some creeps away, but they're going to bully him for that. And they just keep on attacking. Ali comes in, but Ali's only level 2. His heal doesn't do much at this point. But that's a good opening. Find a kill mid with the help of Kaka. Emo has now hit level 6, and it's Armel dying, so something desperately needed, like a pulse for IG in this laning stage.
Yeah. TNC have just been making all the right moves here. Gabby getting another kill down bottom. JT, all his spells are on cooldown.
Look at the quill damage from Gabby. It's like a quarter of JT's HP. He's diving for this. He's diving for this. He will get the kill. Forced out the Emo TP as well. Does end a killing spree, though. And JT gets the gold for that.
Yeah, he just didn't quite have the damage there at the end and overcommitted a little bit because of that.
It's still okay just getting the Storm off that mid lane and not in the jungle where he'd probably prefer to be.
Yep. Does give Storm some XP. He's a full level ahead of the OD now.
But yeah, despite the death gods, he is right back in the game.
Yeah, OD's been farming well. Armel has the jungle to fall back to. Top 3 net worth, all the Radiant side, and Ollie in all kinds of trouble.
Bully here.
Yeah.
Well, we saw it on the Abaddon last game. This game, even easier for him to play aggressive for this stage of the game.
Yeah, very different day for KP. Yesterday, he was the kind of sacrificial space created.
All aboard the feed train, and this time, quite a bit different.
Nice turnaround here. KP with the TP in to help his buddy Gabby out. But that frees up top lane.
Yeah, Fly is real happy about that. Great work, boys. As they are going to glimpse in Tim's, but who's caught whom? Because he looked like he wanted to go on Kaka. Now there's 3. So now that's not happening. Yeah. Gets a ward down. I don't think IG saw this. They may have checked his inventory, though. As the chase also continuing bottom. KP's like, great, I'll just take my punishing brand of medicine to the southern side of the map instead. Those heal bombs are fearsome. Tim's will end up escaping. They're going to consolidate here on the mid lane. Start hitting the tower.
Yep. KP seems a bit under leveled despite how well his lane went. He's not hit level 6 yet.
Can Tim's kill Emo? He's going to try for it. Connects on the arrow. He's got the level 3 Starstorm. This is a dead Storm Spirit. Huge solo kill by Tim's, and he gets out as well. What a player. They know there's a ward. They will deward it, but the damage is done.
There is a lot of ancient stacks as well, and Bristleback, of course, one of the best heroes in the game to farm those.
And they're not very good at taking ancient stacks. Really no right-click physical damage, at least not spread damage.
Dire do not contest. I mean, they can contest these. They don't steal these.
They can steal the regular stacks, maybe with the Storm, but that's or the Sand King, but that's pretty risky to go that far.
And contesting into like a Omni Bristle at this stage of the game seems very spooky. Your heroes aren't really online yet, and there's gonna be another Astra on the arrow. Ooh, yep, times it perfectly.
Nice pick off there. Throwing out the ult to secure it and fly down.
And this is a Morphling into OD. OD's always been one of those kind of counter picks to Morphling. You morph too much strength, he's just going to right-click you, build the Arcane Orbs. You're too high on the Agi, he just blows you up with the Sanities.
This game feels like it's going to be much more about the Storm.
Yeah, that Storm is going for a kill on Tims, but Tims gets the bounty rune first. Doesn't have any leap charges left. Emo out of mana, though.
Emo can't even kill him off, and while that was happening, a skirmish also bottom. And they end up getting, it looks like 3 bounty runes there. Kaka being pursued, and comes a level 3 Abaddon for Ollie at 10 minutes. This hero doesn't necessarily need farm as a support, but he definitely needs levels, gods.
Yeah.
You get his tome now, but he's not even going to be close to 6.
Definitely want that maxed out coil, Aphotic Shield ASAP.
Especially with the Morphling in this game. You talked about the OD burst. You need that defensive capability.
Yep. Great start for TNC. 5k gold lead. They're looking to get a kill on the virtual back though to kind of offset this.
Doesn't have many stick charges, so he will fall. KP coming in with the rotation, swinging the hammer, but they will just glimpse him right back, and they should be able to retreat successfully. Speaking of supports, Kaka, in good news, he's level 7, so is maxing the glimpse this game, not going for the extra points in Thunderstrike, which we saw from TNC.
Yep. This is the more standard Disruptor build, just the second point in Thunderstrike for the value, and then you go back for Glimpse for the playmaking. I think this is definitely the more standard way, and it's the safer way. You know, Glimpse is just always going to be a good spell. Thunderstrike is a much greedier way of playing the game, where if it doesn't, you don't find somewhere to farm, you're going to quickly regret not having max points in Glimpse.
It's great against TNC as well, because they are a bunch of tower divers. Omni Knight, Bristleback, these heroes just want to be rushing after you, smacking you under buildings, diving with the quills. And there's a Mirana, who we've seen Tims get away quite a few times, so even trying to steal some fly creeps here.
Yep.
Do every little bit of economic damage he can.
Even if he hits the
They're diving on mid, looking for Gabby. They don't have the Static Storm, though. That's not really a possible kill.
I think Gabby's thinking about going for these stacks soon.
TNC very heavily contesting runes here. They do not want to give Storm a free game.
Chakra Bristle's going to clear these fast. I like that they also even helping him out with the Moonlight Shadow. Getting fairly low here, though. Let's be a little bit careful, Gabby, about how he plays this one. There's the smoke from IG. They're invading this Radiant jungle.
They're going to find someone here. The Omni Knight, that's a tough kill. It is a possible kill, though. They've got a lot of lockdown, a lot of silence in Static Storm. Not going to catch him. They glimpse him, but it's to the other side of the Static Storm. They needed that silence, that extra bit of damage to have a chance. And there's no chance. TNC rotate in. They cleared their stack safely. And now IG have to get the hell out.
Yeah, KP just dances his way through that one.
Wow, after those stacks, a 5k gold lead. TNC, 2 games in a row, pulling ahead.
They're going to get double hoods as well, so only one of these will be upgraded to a pipe, but Hood is very good at this stage against the magic damage, both Omni and Bristle picking one up.
This does feel like a better comeback game for IG, just based on the draft.
Oh yeah.
Like TNC need to be ahead at this point.
Yeah, Morphling, Storm Spirit, playing against very limited disables. Makes for a fun game for them if they can come online. Tims is going to be rushing a Yule Scepter, it looks like, so he can get some extra lockdown and control for the team. That'll give him an arrow setup that doesn't have to be Armel as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see OD prioritize Hex as one of his first major items as well. Perhaps after like a Blink BKB at latest, I would expect the Hex then.
Okay, let's see if he'll get it quickly. Will they keep the pressure up? They had a nice start. They took their Ancients, but still farming for now. Perhaps wanting to complete that pipe before their next round of aggression. It doesn't seem like they can really reliably gank to set up pushes, gods. Like, Astral into Arrow is not great setup in the mid game, so they may just have to kind of walk at towers.
Yes. Yeah, Bristle at least is a nice frontline punching bag who can just sit there soaking up damage, dish some of it back. He's not a good target to go in if you're IG, so arrows, just fish for him, just throw him and hope one lands eventually, maybe more the play, because you don't really want Mirana charging forward. But they are smoking up behind this mid push. And there's the arrow. They're just throwing them, looking for JT. Not going to land.
He'll dodge away, but the tower is dead. No Blink Dagger yet on the Sand Cane. And now the jungle invasion. Armel going deep. He's got the Veil and the Dragonlance. Very tanky. And high amount of damage in the mid game. As he will walk into Kaka. Banished to set it up in the dire jungle. He's looking for the solo kill here on the Disruptor. With the Veil, should have the firepower. Static Storm was committed, but they throw out the Ignis. Will-O-Wisp will secure it, and while that's happening, a big fight breaking out at the bottom bounty rune. Storm comes balling in. Huge dive onto Tims. He's blown most of his mana for this initiation. Can he get out safely afterwards? He's blown everything. Emo, he might be in too far. He needs to get up to the high ground, just barely he will. Ollie can heal him. Ollie doesn't have his level 6 hit. Oh, he's just skilled it. So he can survive, but it's a headlong retreat. Emo jumping away, fully out of mana, out of options, and out of escape plans as KP runs him down with the heal bomb. You get nothing. And now you lose a tower too.
Yeah, it's just too early for some of these heroes to be fighting. Morphling and Storm feeling like this game is slipping away. And sure, these heroes aren't really counter this game, but at the same time, you can't afford to fall behind by too much gold. So they're trying to force a fight and...
Oh, they found Tims. Glimpse back, not into the kinetic field. He'll just leap right out. Quick heal, and he's away.
Unfortunately, Storm and Morph just aren't able to kill people in these fights. Storm runs out of mana before he even gets a kill. Morphling, he steals the Omni form, gets the Heavenly Grace, but it's not really extra damage output. It just helps keep him alive, and not quite what they were hoping for on the IG side.
So what's the adjustment here from IG? Are you just split pushing and dodging? Are we going to see some running down lades on the Abaddon of Ollie, just feeding to create space? What are you doing?
I think Sand King Disruptor need to make some moves around the map. Ideally, like smoke up, find some picks. Sand King's rushing this Blink Dagger, which he's just about to complete. So these two need to be playing together, and ideally with one of the cores, which to me should probably be the Storm Spirit. So get some kills rolling, try and find some picks. Don't let TNC just control the map as they're doing right now.
JT is pushing out the top lane, but the TNC Death Ball is emerging mid, and it's KP once again with Gabby out in front. Clearing out the wave. This Bristle had an Arcane Rune, so the pushing potential is substantial. As he now becomes the Siege Engine. Plus 186. Playing for almost 300 a pop. IG, no interest in fighting. But they have found Fly here. His TP's on cooldown. He's going to wave away. Should be fine, but isn't farming. While towers are being hit. Probably want the Bristle hitting this tier 2 mid.
Yeah, he was chasing some Morphling, it looks like.
Dragging creeps.
I like this. The split push seems to be the answer to what's going on from IG. So OD's grabbing top waves, Bristle's grabbing bottom waves. It just really slows down the split push capabilities of what IG have going. They did push a tier 1 bottom and will pressure a tier 2, but losing these waves is, that's going to keep this top tower alive and cause a lot of problems.
What do they do next? They got the tier 2. They farm the enemy jungle a bit. Regrouping. Sentries are coming down. Dust getting popped. Ollie is feeling spooked by this Moonlight Shadow, but nobody is there. So heavy commitment to deal with that support Mirana. Yep. Gabby's just going to walk away. He's about to re-engage with them momentarily. No, he's going to TP on mid, where Fly is dueling. But no way to really catch or punish the Morphling here. They can just kind of walk down mid. That's about it.
Tims has his Yule Scepter completed, so they have an initiation that isn't OD reliant. With the Astral Wind arrow, that Mirana can set herself up for these arrows.
If Ollie's in the right position, potentially you can just shield that right off.
Yeah.
So even that's a little tricky, but this ain't tricky. Just go into the pit with Bristle.
They're so much stronger. This TNC kind of death ball status that they're at here. They've also got the Coddle ultimate, so Will-O-Wisp is definitely not a stun to be underrated. Kind of like a long-range, easy-to-cast 5-man Ravage in these team fights at times.
A spammable Ravage, almost.
KP TP's bottom, immediate glimpse out, so this bottom tier 2 tower, it looks like, should be claimed by IG. We'll see if there's any punish. TNC may just be like, screw it, let's just push top and mid and force them back by going high ground.
I think IG's fine with that because they were going to go push top anyway, at some point, so you at least get a tower when you may struggle to grab them later on.
Yep.
And Emo basically has an Orchid here. He is keeping his farm up. The Morphling quietly also doing the same as Fly 2,300 gold. It's one good fight from IG, and their carries are right back in this.
Yeah.
The supports I'm a little worried about, but the carries will definitely have the gold with just a couple of key kills.
The Storm Orchid is a very all-in type item. It has potential to be a huge playmaking item if it can catch like the Omni out by surprise, but Omni's building into
saw someone here with the scan. It's Ali tanking it. He will be going down. Borrowed time. Banish. They'll set up. They really would like to find more kills here if possible. But it's Ali they'll settle for, as Gabby immediately marches onto the bottom lane. KP saying, let's take over the triangle, try to deny them the farm, but hey, look who it is. Fly pushing top, and OD's got it back to deal with that. They are bringing in Murano with the Moonlight Shadow. Maybe they could get a kill on Fly, but he's already backing away, playing this very safe and ratty.
Let's say if OD found him, he's on 500 health there, but
they're going to go for a glimpse play mid, perhaps. Reeling him back into the Static Storm with the debut of the Orchid. They've got the damage. They've got the kill, and that's a big one. Omni Knight out for 45 seconds.
Yep.
That's the Orchid debut. So TNC can't just stand with one core by themselves in the lane any longer.
Yeah, TNC is still playing with Aegis and can, upon seeing this Orchid now, just kind of play, let's get out BKBs and Yule Scepters to deal with this. Omni Knight already with some of the pieces, isn't too far from his. Mirana has a Yules, OD, BKB queued up, Bristle BKB queued up. Double BKBs on TNC is going to make this game very difficult for IG. At the same time, IG's game plan is anytime TNC group up for Death Ball, split push, cut waves behind them, you've got Storm Spirit, you're just going to delay out this game and play for that like 40, 50, 60-minute game. That's where IG can turn this one around in their favor.
Emo just right there with the Bristleback in net worth. Is going to be shoving in the bottom wave. IG start to rotate. They have the level 2 epicenter. Yeah, you could see from the item selection, they're really committing to the split push. JT with the early bots on Sand King, not going for, like, say, a Veil or any sort of team fight item. This is just all about spreading the map.
Yeah, split push, maybe go for a pickoff here or there, but 5v5 team fights kind of out of the question. Use that glimpse, use that boots of travel, try find some picks,
and Ollie's trying to ward to enable this as he drops one down mid behind the tier 1.
Yeah, if he just goes on these deep warding missions, dies here or there, it's not a big deal.
Dive bottom, looking for KP. Emo, that's not a solo kill.
And Ollie's looks very dead.
He watched KP play yesterday. Ooh. He's like, all right, you know, I'm going to create a little time here, get myself denied. Feeling good in the neighborhood.
This is better. Last time Armel just banished him when he used borrowed time. This time around, he's like, I'm just going to give you the right clicks.
Maybe not going to go for the deny. Okay, well, dead anyway. They have found Disruptor up towards the Dire side, but here comes Storm, balling on in. He's going to find Tims. He's going to kill Tims, and there is no kill on Kaka. They really got to be careful against this Emo Storm, especially these squishier heroes.
Yep. Armel's got 36 stolen in. If they can find a fight in the near future, he's going to be looking to drop that Sanities.
What's he sitting at now? Almost 170. Even Storm, I guess, is doing pretty well, but everyone else will get slaughtered by this.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of them are around like 30 to 60 or so.
Morphling needs to sit on more strength anytime he's worried about OD being missing near him, because that Sandy's will one-shot him if he's on full agi.
Has gone for the shotgun here, nice and early. And now into a BKB, so getting closer to being combat ready. As TNC march down mid. They're going to try to break this base. They pop the dust. JT with a quick blink away. But look at the lanes. Emo, he's cutting creeps mid. They are into the base, though. But with the glyph committed, that'll force TNC back.
Tim's is set bottom, but doesn't look like Morphling's going to go for any kind of a push, at least not yet.
They're not the best pushing lineup, Parker. Like, they've just got a Bristle, really, who can hit buildings effectively.
Yeah, they're
making it tough to really punish the split push.
Definitely good. I mean, both teams are kind of in this slower game as a result of, I mean, TNC unable to turn their lead into any kind of crazy pressure with the lack of push and the lack of catch. So they're playing a much slower game.
Tims is just constantly looking for these arrows. Shot one at Fly. This one didn't connect.
He's got to throw him. He's trying to gun for that level 15 talent. Once that arrow cooldown, which makes his life a lot better, just being able to throw out arrows off cooldown, because that's really how they start a fight.
All right, BKB.
Oh, they're coming to fight down bottom at the shrine, but
double BKB is up. IG, not sure if they know about this Bristle one. Well, they do now. They'll glimpse him back. And they'll disengage, and in fact, they're going to go onto KP with the shotgun. Wham! Bam! Not dead yet. They get him, though. That's an arcane rune on the Storm. And meanwhile, the trade, perhaps. Arrow connecting. Will catch out JT. Will kill off JT. But TNC, I don't think they want to be trading right now.
Probably not. Probably not. Storm.
He's going in.
Yeah, he's
going for more kills.
Nice.
And he's thought better of it.
Midnight Shadow.
TP away. Nothing they can do to punish him.
Yep. So OG's got the Hex queued up now. Talked about this being a key item to get fairly early. He doesn't even go for the blink, just straight into Hex after BKB, unless he changes his mind. This is a must-buy item this game.
And Emo is going Bloodstone, so not a BKB next as they look for the action bottom lane. Wave out by Fly, the glimpse away, and he is out of there safely. Has the TP even. Not opting to use it. Now he will.
Nice try.
And now mid. Dive in. Emo. He didn't quite get the kill, though. Didn't want to over... Oh, he will with the Orchid. Nicely done.
That's the style points where you just run away knowing the Orchid's going to finish him off.
Another glimpse back. They cannot keep on letting IG just walk away from them.
Yeah.
Burrow strike on the rear. Gabby's coming in. Wants to run down Kaka. And Kaka is going to drop very fast to this Solar Crest. No glimpse. No escape.
I feel like you normally think of glimpse just as an offensive tool for setting up kills, and Kaka's showing how good it can be defensively when your opponents don't have good mobility and are just running at you. You don't really want to BKB when you're chasing for kills and not in any danger, so these glimpses are being...
That's a Bloodstone.
Pretty nice.
27 minutes in. Emo is right there at net worth. TNC not out of the woods yet. It stayed stubbornly around 7K, but now they come high ground. There is no creep cutting in this bottom lane, so they'll have a shot at trying to break this base. JT with the shield. Sentry plopped down, but he's taking a lot of damage from Armel. 20 stolen in. Has to back away. Gabby hunting. Tower slowly being worked down. They will be killing it off soon. There is a Static Storm. There is an Epicenter. There is an arrow, and it's connected onto JT. Static Storm deployed, though, to cover his path. He actually gets pushed forward. He's down for the count. Emo balls in. Emo wants no part of that fight. He balls back to the fountain, and TNC have found their opening.
Armel held his BKB. He couldn't use his Arcane Orb because of the Static Storm, but he didn't panic. He's like, I'll just right-click him anyways. Gives him the normal non-buffed up right clicks and gets the Sand King kill regardless, and now still has the BKB for this continued push. Full lane of Rax claim. TNC almost effortlessly just walk in, grab a Rax, walk out.
First time that IG were not able to cut the wave or deny them that push.
Yeah. And importantly, Tim's hits just one of the... You're eventually going to land some arrows. You throw enough, something's going to hit.
And Ollie just was nowhere near JT, so they couldn't shield it off.
Yep.
So now they lose a Shrine. Armel will claim it.
Poor Coddle. So close to his Glimmer Cape.
Not over yet, though. Yeah, Emo trying his best to make plays here. He's got a TP. Afraid of that arrow. BKB is queued up next. Needs a little more gold for that, though. And TNC wasting no time and going for their next objective. What will it be? As they jump on mid, they're going back in. They found Tim's again. Could be another support down. The Omni ult committed. Reeling him back in. Counter banish with the Yules. OD defensively for now. He doesn't have a... Oh, he does have a BKB. And he's going to drop the hammer. Laying into Emo. Dead for 80. This could be it for IG. They're on the run. They're going to lose Kaka as well. That's 3.
JT stole the gem. He's invis, though. He's on the low ground. He gets the blink out before the quill hits. Oh, Grand Theft Gem from JT Sand King. But they lose
TNC
the fight.
saying, no, we don't care about the gem. We're going down mid right here, right now.
It was definitely a nice play, but it doesn't save your base.
200 gold short of buyback on the Storm here. I don't even know if it would make a difference, but with OD being given the Solar Crest and Gabby there in front, they're making short work of the buildings. No split push, no contest. IG crumbling here. Their tournament lives on the line. TNC closing in on that potential rematch with Vici Gaming. Can IG find an opening? Still no Storm for 25. They're going to be down 2 lanes now. TNC, I imagine, want to grab and Roche and then maybe go for a 3rd lane of Rax.
Yeah, there's that shrine into Roshan. You protect your Roche by clearing out that TP location, and we saw how easily they just take Roshan with this goo, and the minus armor means it's very difficult for IG to contest it, but at the same time, they may be in a position where they just have to because they're down 4 Rax. Giving them an Aegis may just be the end of this game.
IG are going to smoke.
Yep.
Radiant Ward here did not scout it. Big ball lightning forward. On to Gabby. They've caught him out, but can they slay the beast? He's got a double damage drone. He's got a BKB. He's going to pop it, and he can look to turn this around. He did commit the double damage. Wailing on Kaka, forcing that disruptor on his heels. Meanwhile, Flyfly standing strong, but not doing damage. He's just not strong enough here with this E-Blade build to stand toe-to-toe with Armel. At the center,
nice
completely denied. JT's got to blink away. Armel with the banish. Flyfly on the run. Trying to run away in Omni Knight form. Now back to Morphling form. Wants to get the hell away from the big bad Bristle. Throwing him back the stuns. The adaptive's committed. JT trying to keep him alive, but he's out of mana. He's out of options, and he's out of a life. Out for 80 seconds. TNC getting kill after kill after kill, and they might just find more. Here comes the burrow. Epicenter not available, and JT likely not available soon. He's dead for 50. Morphling down as well, as we mentioned, and the only survivor is Emo. But he can't 1v5 it. They might just go for the throne here.
I think they've got this game, LD. I don't think there's anything left in the tank. TNC will have to maybe face the last couple of buybacks here, so it looks like they may choose to play it safe, go for the Megas with IG about to have their full 5 alive. But OD has a Hex on the front line, and 52 stolen in. You go near this guy, he's blowing you up.
Well, TNC, they just won with a Morph Shaker, and now they're showing they know how to counter that Morph, even if he doesn't have his Shaker. Aggressive, tempo-based Dota. Gabby standing strong in front, forcing them back. Disruptors out. Here comes the hammer. Here comes the pain. There go IG, back to their base. Morphling deleted. And TNC moving on. The GG is called. Your minor champions falling short. Still a very solid finish, a top 3 here, GoDz. They already have enough points based on last year to qualify for TI. Obviously too early to say if that'll be the case, but yeah, they've got some work cut out for them to hang with the big boys.
You know, winning the minor in itself is a good chunk of prize money and a good confidence booster that, you know, you can win a tournament against some solid teams. The major, though, is the real deal. And getting 3rd place at the first major, IG got to be really happy about that result, even if they're not feeling it right now in this moment. They said coming in, JT said they were aiming for top 6. Then once they started doing well, it's like, oh, now we want to get top 2. They, you know, fell a little bit short of that, but TNC, a fantastic opponent. They showed up very well prepared today with the draft and the play.
And for IG, it's the start of the new season. You've had a great showing with a new roster. You know, they have opportunity to learn from this, hopefully grow, heading into the next major minor cycle, which will be significantly more challenging, I imagine, with the big boys back in town. We'll see. Can IG hang? You know, will they do as well at the next major? They've definitely got the work cut out for them, but man, TNC winning 2 very different strategies here. Heavy push, end the game early, as well as the Morph Shaker just taking Time Bomb.
Yeah, they're a hard team to play against there. I mean, everyone's playing well. KP really showed up today. Great to see him there, smiling at the end, you know, having some laughs with Kaka, his former newbie teammate. And, you know, I think TNC are going to put up a great showing in this grand finals. They had a 2-1 series yesterday against Vici Gaming, right? Or was it a 2-0? I'm slipping my mind. It was a 2-0. Yeah, the game 2 was the really close 65-minute one. It felt like it was going to go 3 games. I'm hoping we get a few more games this time around.
We'll see. Vici Gaming looked pretty unstoppable over the course of this tournament. They are going to be waiting in the grand finals. That best of 5 on the horizon. I think we'll have a bit of a ceremony before it. Yep. But before we even get to that point, we are going to have Sheever and the boys break it down. IG finishing here 3rd place. TNC, they've got a rematch with Vici.
Yeah, and I think everybody is going to be very happy with that because especially that game 2 that we saw yesterday from TNC and Vici was perfect. We're going to first talk about this game 2 of this series. We're going to call it a series. It was a little bit of a beatdown as well. We ended the draft saying that IG would be okay as long as the lanes didn't go too bad.
Yeah.
The lanes went pretty bad.
Yeah, as long as Gabby didn't get out of control. That's kind of what I was thinking. Now, also, you mentioned how they did draft really strong lanes. That's exactly what TNC was going for with this game, and it worked out great. I think that might have been the hardest game JT got shut down that I've seen for IG. He wasn't really able to do much of anything. And
the hardest I've seen him get shut down on a hero that he's not known to getting shut down.
Absolutely, agreed.
I mean, every time we talk about IG, it's can JT make the play, set the tempo? Well, he can't if you're getting shut down like that.
Yeah, they played really aggressive on the map. They had good lane start off. Armel had a great start in the mid lane also, and then it's always the constant threat. That's the big thing. It's like Storm sometimes versus OD, you can do even, but in that matchup, OD pulls way ahead because you have to play a little bit more cautionately. He kept backing up and giving OD free denies, and then he gets hit by an arrow anyway, and he dies, and then it's like, oh god, we're losing pretty much all 3 lanes in a way. It was definitely a really good plan and very good execution from TNC in this game again. They seem to just have, March definitely has things up his sleeve.
I think Kaka may need to start practicing heroes other than Lina.
Yeah.
Because this is yet again another disruptive performance where, sure, in both of the situations, it was a very delicate game.
Yes.
But here, he just wasn't even connecting some kinetic fields on glimpses. Whenever they ran into the Omni Knight in the Radiant jungle, he kind of whiffed that.
There were a couple of nice glimpses, and every time there's a disruptor, we say he's great when you're ahead to stay ahead,
but
not so much from behind. And he was forced to play disruptor from behind basically the entire game.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not all on him.
No, of course not. Everyone lost. They're all losers.
They're all losers.
But he definitely could have had a better performance over. Like comparing to his Lina overall was pretty on point. Most of his times he would always land the stun without a setup, initially in the lane. So overall, I do think his disruptor. Sure, it's still Kaka. He's amazing, top class player. They played it on multiple different rosters as well, right? It was Faith who used to play the disruptor instead of him a lot of the time. So he's still getting a little bit used to it for sure.
That's true.
It's they still pretty good. They still do good.
And they did good in the tournament.
So
I think
top 3.
IG should be extremely satisfied. They pocket all. So you don't get the double up on the points that you earn from.
No, you do not. You do get the double up on the money.
You get the money though.
Exactly.
And 3rd place, I wrote it down. Is there a lot of money?
Is it more than their minor winnings?
Well, I didn't write down their minor winnings.
I'll look up their minor winnings.
Similar to the minor winnings.
3rd is 110,000.
So less then, right?
Let's find out.
Yeah, 110,000.
Should be less than the minor.
For your information, while they're looking up what the minor winners are, 2nd place is 160,000. Winner though, 300,000. That's a big, that's a big step up.
So, oh wow, it's significantly more than their minor earnings. Their minor earnings are 72,000.
Wait, really?
For 1st place.
Oh, I thought the minor was a little bit more. Oh, it's because the breakdown, because they get the breakdown is so good for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Right. So last place in the minor gets 12,000.
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd place actually only get what, 10,000 or something less. Even 4th place, it's the breakdown in the minor is a lot more.
It's more even.
Yeah, it's more evenly distributed. Otherwise, I would have thought I was like, wait, not 150,000 for first? Yeah, it makes more sense.
Also, IG doing really well here. This was a major where we had 4 teams from the China region. I think IG made a good case to get at least 3 slots again next season. I know there was an announcement that it's going to be at least 2 slots per region, and the rest is, we're going to have to wait and see, but I think it's fairly safe to say that China would at least get 3.
It still is 2. It's confirmed 2 slots per region then, right?
At least 2 slots per regiona.
South America, 2 slots.
But that makes sense still, because you're still having top 8 Beast Coast.
Yeah, no, I understand because of Beast Coast, but I don't know who else besides Beast Coast.
Well, who are you going to do in CIS then?
That's the same. Well, Gambit and.
Gambit, really?
Yeah, it is definitely a limited pool in some of those regions. Those are going to be heavily
Pro just made Epileptic Kid also part of the.
That's true. Yeah.
Of the official roster. Armel, MVP of this match.
Armel, MVP of the series.
Of the series.
His puck performance was top tier. This game he played super well in that mid lane. Played very confident in his play too. He was just playing very aggressive.
He gets a lot of MVPs for his team. It's also the way they set him up for success though. So we give him the MVP, but in reality, his whole team makes him look even better.
Sure. Yeah. Especially whenever he's got the Drow Rangers enabling his Templar Assassins and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Although I guess they didn't really, in this series, I didn't really see anyone were there any Mirana arrows on mid?
Yeah, he got the one.
Oh, right, on the Storm.
He did get the one on the Storm, yeah. And Tim's overall was putting a lot of pressure on the map, too. He stole we didn't get to see the whole time on the on the screen, but I think he was arrowing the big creeps out of the stacks that they were doing for the Storm Spirit. So he was a huge. I would actually have argued like him and Armel and Tims in that game were pretty beast. Even though Gabby had an amazing performance, Tims was so annoying throughout that early game.
And I like his style of play. They knew that they wanted to be aggressive in the lanes, and it's like, okay, coming top. Level 2, instant double leap into enemy territory to set the tempo and make sure, like, okay, asserting dominance is what you always say, Fog, and that's definitely what he did.
I mean, asserting, that's how you put, you know, even if you might not be in a position where you actually are stronger, if you assert dominance, some people are just like, oh my god, this guy's so confident, what's going on here?
He must have like 3 heroes behind him.
Yeah, so I love when players play with that utmost confidence.
All right, guys, let's take a look or listen to what TNC had to say.
首先，第一个想要问的问题就是，我们发现整个这个 Major 的比赛里面啊 ，TNC 的 BP 基本上是不会出现一个失误，所以想问一下 TNC 现在这个他们换人之后，整体的一个 BP 思路是怎么样的？First question, we're gonna talk about drafts. We see TNC rarely has mistakes during the draft phase in this Major. I just want to ask you, does TNC have any coach right now, or how's the PP goes in TNC?
At the moment, we don't have a coach in TNC, but our manager is helping us with basic analysts stuff. Yeah, that's it. Shout out to Doms, doing 2 jobs.
现在的话，我们暂时没有教练，然后我们的经理的话是偶尔会帮我们在这个 BP 上做一些分析，所以我这边也要感谢一下我的经理。So the second question is, TNC just won ESL 1 with a style, and IG is a minor champion. You defeat IG 2-0, so which part do you think TNC does better than IG in this particular series?
I think IG is a very strong team, and I have seen their improvements over the past few months. Is where we were screaming at them a lot, and I think it's just a little lack of experience where I can see them being stronger as the time goes. But there is definitely a lot of the potential that they have that we were scared of, and then we try to dodge it as much as possible.
就是想问一下，就是因为 TNC 也是刚拿到 ESL 的冠军，然后问一下，面对这个 Minor 冠军 IG 的话，他们在这一个系列赛里面做的比 IG 在哪些地方可能会更好，所以拿下了这场比赛。那这边 March 也是说，我觉得 IG 是一个非常有进步的队伍，然后他们的话现在也是一步步走过来，我们也看在眼里。当然的话，现在的给我而言的感觉就是 IG 还是缺乏了一些经验。在这次比赛里面，我们也是尽量避掉了 IG 的锋芒，然后我们觉得这次比赛的话能够赢下 IG 也是非常不错的。So the last question against VG. You made them before and you're gonna make them again. Is there anything specially prepared after the loss yesterday?
Yeah, I think game against VG has waken me up. They told me what is wrong with my draft and then how I can be abused, and I understood it, and we're back stronger.
最后就是问一下他们下场比赛对阵 VG， 因为 VG 之前击败过他们了一次，所以最后的话想问一下，这次比赛再一次遇到的话 ，TNC 会做什么改变？那么也说之前碰到 VG 的时候，我觉得给我们是一个这个提新针吧，因为我们之前的话可能有些松懈了，所以输给 VG 之后，我们自己也是找到了一些要改进的地方，希望我们之后碰到 VG 能打出一个好的比赛。那这样子就是感谢 March 来接受我们的采访 ，Thank you very much。好的，那之后的话。
Yeah, they could definitely tell, or we could definitely tell that TNC knew what IG was going to bring to the table and basically exploit their weaknesses. So they scrimmed a lot together, turns out. And yeah, TNC, they just proved that they were hands down the strongest team in this lower bracket finals.
Yeah, and I'm glad that, you know, we had said the other day how we felt like IG's lack of being able to like close games out and just be more more solid overall, like as a team, is their lack of experience. And March just said it himself, so I actually feel a little bit better about that because I felt like we were being a little bit hard on them. But now that he said that as well, I'm, you know,
you're justified.
Weight off my shoulders.
Although, if you're screwing against TNC, I don't think they're the best opponents to tell you how to close games, though, because TNC have had a long-standing history in this tournament of not knowing what to do with a 40k net worth advantage. So, but maybe again, that's why IG did so well in this tournament because they played against a grand finalist.
Yeah, that could definitely be. I mean, it will be a grand finalist. So we'll have a rematch. We talked about it yesterday. How that second game of the series. I want to just get something out of the way because I know both of you won't be on the finals panel. Is Shaker Morph gonna make an appearance in first phase picks?
It's a best of 5, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so. The BO5.
This is where you put it out there, right? It's just like they're gonna just do it.
Again.
Maybe just do it again and make them try to get in their head.
It's a threat all series long, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's a threat if you do well with it, and if you don't do well with it.
Yeah.
So if you don't do well with it, it's like, all right, whatever. We still have, now it's just back to a BO3 or whatever.
Yeah.
We just have to do a little bit better in the next few games.
It's that, and
Perhaps.
then I don't think we'll see Alchemist though, because I think Alchemist, you're better off relying on like KP, Veno, Naga strats than you are relying on like a Gabby Alchemist.
Fair. So obviously before the grand finals, there's going to be a bit of a break, so we have some more time to talk about some things. So I wanted to basically with every region, we now know on what slot they end. I mean, first, second shouldn't be making that much of a difference for Southeast Asia and the China region. I wanted to quickly look even further than the finals and even further than the patch. I want to look at the qualifiers and the regions.
Okay.
I'm going to skip open qualifiers. Actually, you can talk about the open qualifiers, but I think we already did that. Open qualifiers of Europe, mostly.
Oh, right.
The point where...
I think most of it is difficult to discuss because we don't know if OG is going to be participating. Almost certainly they're not.
I don't believe
if they are, they are not practicing.
Yeah, and No-Tail's going to be playing from like Peru.
No-Tail's going to be in Lima in like a week and a half from now. So he's going to Lima Games Week.
Yes.
So there you go. Those are the two open qualifiers.
They're continuing to globetrot the world.
And solve climate change and
not yet.
Not
after
yet.
next
you
year.
have to win 3 TIs first.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's the two slots are spoken for. Kurostek and Secret.
Is there a chance that they get to be in the same side of the bracket?
It's possible because I don't think any of these teams have been seeded.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any like Face-It points, or I don't know how Face-It seeding works, but
I don't know either. Actually.
I think you need to participate in the open qualifiers to like get seeding in the bracket.
Is there only one open qualifiers now?
No, there are 2 sets.
There's still 2 sets.
Well, so there's 2 open qualifiers, but they don't do another round of open qualifiers for the minor. You get 2 open qualifiers, and then that's it. You'll go through the major, and then...
Yeah, but the 2 open qualifier slots is not coming from 1 open qualifier. They're coming from 2 separate open qualifiers.
Yeah, so even if you're in the same side of the bracket...
So it should be fine.
You can have a second shot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
In theory, it should be fine.
In theory.
In theory, they should be fine.
Well, maybe... What was the random European team? Oh, Ad Finum. Maybe Ad Finum might make the resurgence.
Did you just call Ad Finum a random European team? Also, didn't they?
They're not together. Madara's now also left the team.
That's right.
Left the team. Too bad.
So then, who else was at the minor?
But
NIP.
if you're at the minor,
NIP. Well, they're
if you're at the minor, you're qualified.
That's true.
But didn't NIP also say they're not playing in Europe?
Oh yeah.
So do we not know where NIP's
No, they
playing?
have. I think we've already spoiled it here anyway. So they said it somewhere.
They said it somewhere.
Because that's what Tsunami said.
Whoa. Let's not put this on me now.
Yeah, wait, what did Tsunami say? Yeah, wait, what?
public information. I mean, everyone signed up for the quals anyway.
Did they?
Yeah. Because the European, because GeekFam is in the Southeast Asia Open quals for some reason, which they have points from the minor, which is a bit peculiar.
Wasn't GeekFam from Southeast Asia anyway?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. But they're going through the Opens.
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly. I have no idea why. But their name
Maybe there's too many teams? Nah, that couldn't be because they were in the minor.
Yeah. So that's what I was surprised to see that. Hopefully they know the rules. Do we know the rules?
Maybe they just registered just in case they weren't going to be in the regionals.
Possible.
I wouldn't put it past them. It's just to make sure. Yeah. But I do want to hear how you guys think about, first of all, how many slots per region? Simple question. Second, it is also known, like, you know the last major of previous season, it was 2 minor teams going to the major. And it worked out great because those 2, I mean, they were both European, but they also did very well at the major, just performance-wise. They were very competitive teams, both of them to watch. We now know that it's going to be only 1 minor team for this one as well.
Okay.
What kind of impact do you feel like that has on the regions?
Okay, so there's 7 regions, right? Or is it 6 regions?
I think it's 6.
6.
Okay, so 6 regions, 2 teams a pop, 12 teams are guaranteed. We can't mess with 12 teams.
Okay.
So there are 4 teams.
4 slots.
That we can
5. For
16 teams.
16. So
yes, so there's 3 slots. Because one of them is going to be the minor.
Oh, okay, so 3 slots. So China, Europe.
Yeah.
NA.
And then what's the last one? Is it NA?
I think it's or NA or SA.
SEA.
Whoa, what?
SEA.
SEA. My bad. I think it should be, with this major in mind, which is kind of what we're going on, it should be NA.
Yeah, I agree.
It should probably be NA.
Yeah, because Fnatic and Adroit did not do well here.
They both bummed out a little bit. Fnatic did get top 8, or did they get top 12? I think top 12.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't count those. We only count top 8 apparently.
Which
And
had J-Storm,
J-Storm,
and EG.
EG. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think NA should. Yeah, that sounds right.
And
I think
Liquid and
that sounds-
Alliance are both in the top 8 as well, so then Europe should definitely get...
Yeah.
Get the third slot as well.
Which, yeah, so, I mean, I think that was going to happen regardless, but based off of the performance of this tournament, it's definitely
NA,
happening.
EU, and
But
China.
that
China.
does mean that Europe is going to have 3 slots, but 4 major competitive teams.
Yeah, so either Liquid or Alliance are probably not going to be able to make it to the major.
Is there a chance that either Kuro Squad or Secret is going to participate from a different region?
So I had the idea.
Go
to CIS.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
I
where
mean, that would be super smart if they would do that.
Right.
That'd be like free pickings
But are
for
they
them.
able to? Because I know, like, we know Puppy's from Estonia, so maybe, you know, I don't know how much
Don't
you
know.
need to be
Yeah,
somewhere to
That's true.
be in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
And CIS qualifiers, even though it looks easy, it is a very scary place.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're being a little bit rough on them, of
Yeah.
course. but
They're
it's-
being rough on themselves.
They're being rough on themselves is probably the biggest thing. We're kind of just like following the board. They're like, they think they suck, so, you know, I mean, like, I don't know.
And we don't know how good VP is at the moment.
Yeah.
Because they did, like, they bummed out early.
Mhm.
And they could, I think they could be looking
And
very much better at the moment.
They didn't qualify with Rezo. Rezo came after they
Afterwards.
qualified.
Yep.
Yeah.
So who knows what? Like, have they played any games with Rezo publicly
No,
yet?
Did they not? Did they pull out of something? Kinda
Yeah, they
feel-
qualified to the minor, and then they pulled out of the minor.
Yep.
Yes.
But they qualified to the minor without Rezo.
And they
Yep.
weren't in Hamburg. Ooh, actually, they're gonna be in Singapore.
Ah,
But that is after the qualifiers.
That's
Fires.
way.
So-
That's a new patch. That's a new
Yeah,
Dota. That's a new
yeah.
everything. That's a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
existence for all of us.
I mean, that is true. All these qualifiers are going to take place on the new patch.
Oh, it's gonna be
So
such a disaster. I
Dude, I
can't
love
wait.
it.
This is gonna
I
be great.
love
People are just gonna be like, "Oh God, what the hell do we pick? What
Dude,
are these? What does this
especially
do? What does that do? What's
Open
this?"
qual BO1s on a brand new patch. Can you imagine if Secret doesn't make it through?
I don't know. I just can't wait to play nonstop Dota. So let's go. Let's just speed this up and get to the patch. Just kidding. This should be. I mean, this should be an awesome. After like after yesterday, like casting that game too. That was the best game for me that I'd seen here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the best and like pretty close to the J-Storm game was actually really close for me too. That 70-minute game. but
J-Storm
Yeah.
TNC.
yeah, the
Yeah,
J-Storm
you know
TNC.
the overarching theme there. It's TNC.
TNC with those long games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are. Yeah. Should be pretty fun.
It should be pretty fun. It should be great finals ahead. You guys want to do any predictions?
I'm liking Vici.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think General ROTK is up to something with his Witch Doctor picks, shutting down these offlaners.
Oh, the witch doctors.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems to have a really good understanding of these games and these mind games. I know March, he even said it there. He's probably a little bit more prepared. He's probably not going to early pick a TA again if he sees a puck
Yeah.
or anything like
Hopefully
that.
not,
Nothing
yeah.
like that. But yeah, Vici seems to be incredibly well prepared, and I am a big PYW fan. That guy is a monster. Honestly, he really impressed me yesterday.
And in the interview, he said that the question was asked, "Who do you think is better, Fade or you?" And he was like, "You know what? We played a couple times. I think he's better." But yeah, he is.
Humble.
He's on the rise, and he is. I mean, he's got big footsteps to fill, right? Big shoes to fill. But he's making it work. Edson is looking good for him, for sure.
Yeah, I would say I'll do 3-1 Vici. I think they're actually looking like super strong. I think the games that won't tell the story. I think TNC's game's gonna be close, but yeah.
I'll say 3-2 TNC. I think KP had said in an earlier interview they've got strats to burn still. March said that he knows now that he can be abused in certain strategies.
Yes.
So it was draft losses that they
They
lost
were,
against their
yes.
Vici series in the upper bracket.
They did get Huskard.
They got
They
Huskard,
got Huskard.
and they thought that Morph Shaker was as broken as they made it look in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But there are still some patches that need to be fixed, and I think that TNC will fix it,
Okay.
but in a 5-game series, 3-2 TNC.
I mean, I would love to see a 5-game series after all the 2-0s we've had.
Yeah, I know, right?
I am looking forward to at least more even games, and I know the first game
Yeah.
of the series that we saw yesterday wasn't even whatsoever, which is what it was a big draft win for Vici. I just hope it's going to be even games. I think that would be a brilliant ending to the patch, because this patch has been around for like over half a year,
Mm-hmm.
and we have seen the ups and downs and the highs and the lows. We've seen a lot of one-sided games this tournament, partially because the draft wins, but we also have seen still the meta still evolve and people still coming up with new things. So let's end it with a bang, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm super down. And we
super down.
Yeah. I hope you see something something crazy out of the box in this last game.
You want to see something crazy out of the box?
Let's see if they just throw in a techies.
Can I spoil what's coming?
Sure. I love spoilers.
Because, I mean, you want to see something crazy out of the box. I have been talking Chengdu facts the whole time, and when I was looking up all the facts and trying to write down the most interesting ones, there were also a couple that I didn't write down because they were just not as interesting, or at least I didn't think they were that interesting.
Okay.
So we know Chengdu is the birthplace of the Chinese tea culture, of paper money. They have high produce and all that, and they're all like about the lavish lifestyle, which also comes with entertainment. So they are also the capital of a region that is called Sichuan. Okay. And this region is famous for their operas. Their opera styles. And they are also the birthplace of this opera style, and it's world famous.
Awesome.
And I read it and it's like, yeah, that's not interesting, let's not write it down. Little did I know that we actually have got a opera coming your way at some point. Yeah, we're gonna get a
genuine Sichuan opera?
Yes.
Whoa.
At least that's what we've been told. High expectations are set here. We don't know how much is gonna be met of that, but it is gonna be an interesting one for sure. All right. Sorry, I had to read something.
Please do. Please
Just
read.
a quick glance over.
Spoil things and take a quick
what
glance.
is that sign doing over there? I was like, that's a flight plan.
I will sit in 42B.
They have no idea what we're laughing at. They have no idea what we're talking about. But
well, I have just been instructed that we're gonna give you a little bit of a taste. You're gonna see grand finals between Vici Gaming and TNC, a best of 5. It should be hopefully a super exciting grand finals here for the MDL Chengdu Major. And to get your appetite a little up there, we're gonna throw it to some highlights of yesterday's encounter between these two teams.
They will go the Husker. Ooh, that's
Filthy.
dirty.
absolutely.
So, to a point in a TNC, they probably picked the TA. They probably weren't that confident that they were going to get the match. Oh, the arrow hit. March. It's going to be protected a little bit by the Fisher, but it doesn't help out enough. Yang able to take first blood. It's the two of them, both parties, and they will realize one another's coming in with the smoke. They'll know Vici Gaming's there, won't be caught out by it.
They at least have TA traps, which are scouting all the time as well. So if Vici does set up to go for some dive plays, they will see that. But now KP
are going to get a chain frost out from March. Yang falling pretty low here. Chrono's going to go down. Yang does fall. See Vici Gaming with the setup, look to try and find the kills in return. TNC and have Armel and Tim's turning up though to take down a second kill in response. They'll lose KP, but this time TNC are able to hold and hit back hard. And that was a fight as well where Chronosphere was used.
They're putting pressure on towers here now though, as the bash, March trying to get away with his frost shield, but the cast bouncing around.
So Tim's try and help out a little bit. It's not going to happen. Dream Coil is going to be laid down onto Armel, and that's the catch you're talking about. No chance to blink away from that one. When out from the trees comes a Puck with his ultimate.
Just when they're starting to get some tower damage too, Vici responds with full force as UIW, he's stalking. He's got a leap, he's got a starfall. Is it enough? One more hit. It is.
He's got it. PYW's killing spree continues.
307.
Well here. It's 16 to 4. It is 12k lead for Vici Gaming, but
UIW.
There's that little chance.
Setting up for a solo kill as March chain frosted the creep wave to push it out. So he's trying to make more space. He doesn't have another leap. He really wants him here, and I don't think he's gonna get him. But March walks back in. He's dead. Armel looks he's probably gonna get DY at least for the trade, but is the invis gonna work? It is. They're getting away.
Seems to be found in bottom lane.
Meanwhile,
Eurus. Tim's.
Will he predict? He will.
Absolutely bang on there from Eurus. No messing around. KP once
Meanwhile.
again. Let's see, he's had some great deaths. Let's see how good of a death this one's going to be. Let's see sort of how much time, how deep he can drag him.
People watching who don't like understand it are probably like, what the hell is...
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place.
What's going on right now? What is KP doing? Like, he's trying his best to make that space.
You do not try this in your pubs. This is a professional.
Will he get the deny? And he will.
Look at this man.
Big tips coming around
These deaths get better and better. That was even deeper, right?
Yep.
First off, he's denying outside of the base, then he's denying in the base.
By Vici as the Morphling. He's got the, he's got the item, he's got the level 18, the Echo in the back.
Tims is trying. He's trying for something here. There's the follow-up here. If they got the damage to kill anyone, no, they have. Vici Gaming, everybody's alive. They'll turn, rip apart Tims, go towards Armel as the TA will also fall. There's no buyback available on Armel. KP this time looks like he's going to be pressured inside his own base. The Chrono's down, catching Tims, who brought back for this. Another Fisher used here from Gabby as he'll try and go forward to help out his team.
The cast
there's 4 dead. Gabby jumping back towards the base. But 3 of them down and out without buyback. Vici Gaming will clean up the mid-racks. And they'll now move on to the tier 4s. And this, a very strong message from Vici Gaming. It's what their opinion is about the Earthshaker Morph. They couldn't give a damn. This is what they'll do to it. They'll absolutely crush it.
Oh, and KP 0, 11, and 4. Tried his best to make the space, but a very well executed and well thought up plan by Vici to respond to this first 2-pick Earthshaker Morphling. Not sure we're going to be seeing that one in the opener again, especially not against a Void lineup.
to begin. We still have to give TNC a little bit more rest before they head into that one after, of course, beating their previous opponent, IG. And while we wait, we figured we keep you company, and we figured we entertain you with a little bit of a last hurrah of the patch. If you're planning on playing any pubs between now and Tuesday, then we are here to tell you what you should and should not play, aka the tier list of heroes for this current patch. Here with me, Fog, Tsunami. Gentlemen, we're going to take this real nice and slow. But what I do think we should do, start with the most obvious ones. Yeah, we have a list with all the heroes because
117.
117 heroes in Dota 2.
Did I miscalculate it? Oh yeah, it is 117. All right, I'm almost right.
Then 2 more are going to be added in just a few days.
Yeah. Unless I can't add, but I'm pretty sure I added right. I think.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
So.
No, I think.
But I don't care how many they are. I care how good they are.
Yeah, we can just start this. Okay, so we have apparently got 5 different tiers.
Okay.
We have S tier for the absolute best. Should pick that in your pubs with a higher chance of winning.
Okay.
And we have the D tier for the absolute worst. Don't pick that. You'll lose the game no matter how good you are.
Okay.
I think it is safe to say Clockwork is in the D tier.
Yes, that's a fair claim.
So D tier heroes. The thing is, where do we put like techies and stuff?
I think we can put them in the D tier too.
Heroes that aren't picked at all, we can put in the D tier?
Yeah.
Is this a pub list or a competitive list?
Competitive list.
A competitive list?
Yes.
Okay.
So a pub list, you can just go to Dota Buff and you'll have the answer.
That's true. Okay, so yes, Clockwork in D tier, even though it was picked at this tournament. They did not win.
I have techies in my D tier.
Okay, fine. Lone Druid.
Lone Druid in D tier for sure.
Yeah, so stick that Rattle Trap in there. Give me some Lone Druid in there. He's L.
Well, I think we should put Crystal Maiden in there too. She's
D
only
tier.
Alliance.
D. Maybe
I was picking her.
Sentinel Scourge taverns.
What are we thinking about an Earth Spirit?
That's what I was gonna ask. I was very curious about Earth Spirit.
I think I'd still put him C. Kopilow will put him in the S.
I wonder who's doing this tier list. I wonder who's handling